Hey everyone, episode 190 with the midweek rub. Yeah, 190 with who's in there again? Andrew, Con, and the Sinner and myself. What did we touch on? We actually touched on a lot. It was like a 3.5 hour episode, which I sort of stripped back a bit. Talked about Kendrick's halftime show, Oz icons from the rock scene of the 80s, Trump's return to power, the Sam Kerr issue, the cab, Contex of sacrifice. I got no idea what they mean. I'm just looking through my notes here. Holiday tax, the cost of living going up. That was more or less it. Bono and Shelton, if those names mean anything to anyone. Yeah, like, share, follow, subscribe, all the usual stuff. If you've got anyone that wants to come in and have a chat, or you can think of someone that would be worthwhile bringing in and doing a session with, please get in contact. Email at therealduke@gmail.com. Just follow us on socials, all the usual spots, and enjoy it.
Oh yeah! Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
Let's rock.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
What is it with Wall?
Leave a message, baby. I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Yes.
Wait for the move and
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Will you shut up, man?
Weird.
I'm Chris Hansen.
Oh, you gotta get that hawk. Spit on that thing. You get me?
Unless you're scripted, you're useless. Unless you're scripted, you're useless.
I'm not saying a word. I'll fix you can't explain it.
Remember the green bottle there? Remember the green bottle, the blue? You burn it, it's like flame.
He's laughing like he hasn't seen me for a while. You haven't had a good laugh for a while, haven't
Oh!
Fuck, man.
Santorini blue fucking hat that comes with.
You love it, man.
Comes to the gym and everyone's
Chicks dig it, though.
Oh my god, man. That killed me. Do me a favour, give me a bottle of water. I'm dying. That just fucked me. Old Spice.
Old Spice, man. And you just get that sting in it.
I actually use the shampoo, the Head and Shoulders No Spice. Old Spice, sorry, not no Spice.
What, did you raid the fucking mum's house?
No, Old
this
Spice
is still full of that.
masculine, you dickhead.
Used by 1987.
It's a new fucking Malacca. I had to use Head and Shoulders because of the warehousing logistics. It dries up your skin because you're in and out of refrigeration all day and then up all thicky. Old Spice is legitimately a nice smell. It is. Isn't it? It's a masculine, old school smell.
Well, that's what it was, yeah. What do you think, George?
I don't use it. I don't splash fucking litres of it on me.
Why are you looking at me for? I've never used it. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I've never
Mr.
used-
Shamish, what do you mean?
I've never. There's Mr. Shamish. Mr. Shamish.
On the eye, me dance.
Who has used Old Spice? I've never used Old Spice.
I've never used Old Spice.
I've never had the
You just look like a bit of an Old Spice.
I've never had the cologne or the
That should be his
deodorant.
new nickname, Old Spice. Old Spice. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you call
Seriously?
you? Santorini Blue.
Oh, you got to see this cap.
That could be,
You want to see the
that
cap
could be
he
my-
wears?
That could be the porn name. Santorini
There
Blue.
you go, Santorini Blue.
No, you want to see him. All right,
You'll love it today. Ask him.
He rocks up. Class starts at 8 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. 8:20, I'm there.
8:25. He comes on Saturday.
Yeah.
Says from a guy from 2 weeks ago. We got there at 8:01.
Hang on. What time were you in class today? What time did you get here today?
Dickhead.
Back in your fucking doghouse. Enough.
Dickhead. I got there 5 minutes late.
Yep. And how long we passed? 8:05 today too.
8:05.
Yep. That's what time it was.
How can it be 8:05 and out hither when the class starts at 5:15?
No, I'm talking about this podcast.
Oh.
Got that one.
What's your thought?
Nevertheless, hang on. The Old Spice thing. I've never had the cologne or the deodorant. The only thing I've had is the shampoo because you got like 3 cents, man. Old Spice, apple, cinnamon, something, and lemon.
Why does it sound like fucking a shisha tobacco. It's all
like a
shisha
donut.
tobacco or something. Literally.
Now, back in those days, I was more introduced to stuff with Pino.
Oh, the little green bottle.
The
Everyone had
little
that.
pints. Pino.
Where do you even buy it from, man?
Did you put them in your car, like, just for the quick Brits?
You didn't need it. We used to put half a bottle on.
like my nephew does now.
Put a half a bottle on.
Where can you buy that Pinot? Because I found a photo of it
I've
once.
seen it recently somewhere. I don't know if it was more just a novelty reintroduction or something, but I have seen it.
You'll need to pull out the tablet so we can have a look and see where it is.
It's been 4 minutes, man. Straight on the tablet, man.
That Pinot, was that like a Woolies Coles thing?
No. It was a chemist.
A chemist.
It was a legit.
How did all the wogs get onto that? As in, like,
It's probably
spread like
discounted.
wildfire.
It's probably cheaper. What do
Was
you mean?
it cheap?
No, it wasn't cheap.
It was reasonable. It wasn't expensive.
Okay, there'll be two reasons to be cheap, or there was a door-to-door salesman, like those old fucking Kirby vacuums.
Oh.
Where
Yeah,
everyone
but some
bought,
things
bought them for
became
$2,000.
some
You
things
remember those
became
Kirbys?
popular. Even now, things become popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like back then, it was these shoes or these pants or these jumpers or whatever.
Mate, how many
And
times?
that was the thing.
How many
Pino.
times have you had fucking door-to-door salesmen just like trying to sell you shit back in the day, man?
Oh, back in the day.
Remember,
don't forget back in the day.
Encyclopedias.
My mum used to
What are you
have
talking
a
about?
guy
My father-in-law
with a
was
book.
did that for
Aussie
years.
Methodist.
There we go. Probably my parents, my in-laws or something, bought some off you.
Oh.
Fucking
What was
yeah,
he selling? Your
encyclopedias.
No, encyclopedias. George's dad.
There we go.
Serious?
100%.
Yeah, he used to do that.
100%.
His father-in-law.
100%.
Ito Encyclopedia Britannica.
No.
Britannica.
Which one was it?
The best one, mate.
They're the ones that we got, World Book.
Well,
Yeah, we had the World
My
Book as
parents
well.
probably bought it from your father-in-law.
We had them. I remember using them until about 96 or so.
We have them at home.
Had
man.
them. I think my mum still got them
No,
at
we
home
got them.
in the box
We
somewhere.
got them at home, like
Nah.
in the bookcase.
Yeah, World Book.
She loves it.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure they all got turfed. When we
No, they're not
In-
turfed. We've got them.
no, in 2017 when my mum when we sold the house and my mum moved, I'm pretty sure that was like
part of the
that was
cull.
a hard cull. Like,
Yeah.
nah, man, this has got
the
a
only
crap.
the only book, the only page that was open was for V for vagina, and this guy would crack it open. Oh no, bro.
Are you out of your fucking mind? You're fucked. Seriously?
have you seriously had your prostate massaged again?
Where?
Oh no, bro.
Okay, Malaka, think about it like this. When I came of age, it would have been like, 90, like say year
Came of age.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as in like when the boy discovers,
When? He said came.
yeah. How old are you people, man? I'm the youngest
It's been
one
too
here.
long, man. It's been
You're
too long.
fucked. Ease up,
He's
man.
just letting out all
Yeah.
the
Have more of your booze so you can just
pheromones
mellow
and,
out a bit.
Yeah,
He's got, I think he's got a bit of MSB,
I was getting
MSB
MSB.
stand for.
multiple sperm build-up.
All right. Before we get cancelled for being,
So what are you, Mr. Blanks?
can you both stop?
They call me Tommy
Have
Blanks.
you got it out of your systems?
Just get both of you. Just take cold showers. All right. You can explore each other's bodies later. Listen, I'm just saying. When I came of age, let's say 12, 13 years old, it would have been like 97 somewhere. The internet had just started progressing at that point. So people were still using VCRs. I don't know about your childhood, man, but we didn't have to cling to a word book with pictures of vaginas. Like, seriously.
What up, bro?
What the fuck, man?
Why, like, at this age of 16, you sound like you're like
He was preparing his
78?
MySpace page.
Yeah.
You cunts are fucked. I give up.
Limite, tu flippes aqui. What up, bro, man?
I'm done. I'm done.
All right.
Can you relax?
How's New Year's, people? It's already,
Yeah, how about the Super Bowl? Yeah, how's the Super Bowl?
Oh,
Hey, but
God.
the sport
You know,
team.
Did you watch it? I
was
didn't watch anything.
I was that busy at work today. I didn't hear anything or see anything.
Everyone messaged
until I
me-
saw later. I totally forgot about it. And then I saw some, like a news article, whatever it was. And they go, oh, yeah, congratulations, Philadelphia. Oh, they won.
Yeah.
Just
that
after
was
half
it.
time, it was 34-0. They humbled them in the first half.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Pummeled.
The Aussie said he was part
Yes,
of the winning
for,
team, which is new.
Yeah. He was
First
a blocker.
Aussie
No,
to play
he had
Super Bowl
Graham, whatever his name was. He was
Yeah,
a
Ben
kicker.
Graham.
But I think he's
Yeah.
the first Aussie key position player.
to get a ring.
Yeah, the ring.
Because the other guys were like a punter or whatever.
Yeah,
whereas he was a quarterback's blocker or whatever it was.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about the halftime show? A mate of mine, because I didn't hear, I got 2 bits of feedback about the halftime show. Yeah, it was just Kendrick Lamar just rapping or whatever.
Okay.
And one of my mates, one of my mates sent me a message saying, I'm remembering like the show 2 years ago that was, had me like riveted. This one I'm already thinking about dinner 3 minutes in. I'm like, okay. Another mate messaged me and said, pretty weird that they actually let him air his songs, because the rapper that performed,
Kendrick
Lamar. He did that song, Not Like Us or whatever it's called. It's a diss against Drake where it literally calls him a pedophile in the song. Like Drake's had all these allegations about having a relation.
And he's playing right now.
Yeah.
In Melbourne.
Yeah. Exactly. But they as a set song, he performed a song where he literally refers to another celebrity as a pedophile.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that should be allowed? Well, my mate said, I'm surprised it actually got played.
It depends on the song. Yeah. If the song is that controversial that it's actually blocked or it's being sued or whatever you want to call it, that's different. But if it wasn't, then...
But is it loosely based or is it like...
hang on. It's hip-hop, so... I mean, it's...
I was going to say, how many other fucking hip-hop songs are...
Yeah, but not direct disses.
Outrageous.
Yeah, it's one thing to have a song that's, like, controversial, but this is a diss where you're literally accusing a bloke of being a pedophile. Is that don't you think they would have got a filter?
Did they name him in that, or...
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Borderline.
See, the thing is, if we knew what the words were, but I mean, is it like... So it's totally not loosely based on him. Like, it's clear as day. That's what he's singing about.
Yeah.
That's too weird, man. You should be very selective in what you...
It's a Super Bowl.
Man. Yeah, correct. You should have something like... Look, not sports-based or anything like that.
Songs, this is the thing that I always say, when people say that hip-hop's really just incites violence, blah, blah, blah. I go, mate, diss songs have existed forever. One of the earliest diss songs was Leonard Skinner's Sweet Home Alabama, where he's dissing Neil Young in it. He's literally bagging Neil Young.
Yeah, I know that song.
Yeah, right? He's literally nailing Neil Young in the song. Like, that's what's wrong. But yeah, I just thought that was an odd, when I brought it up.
You have to be very selective, man. Like, I mean, you have to kind of put...
Strange, huh?
But it always should be like empowering kind of like music or uplifting kind of music. It can't really be this music. It just stopped now.
You'd think it'd be neutral songs. I'll give you some lyrics, all right? I'll give you some lyrics from Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. I mean, we could listen to the song, but I can't be bothered. Nice and easy. How many options you really got? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is all gibberish mostly. Okay, so say Drake. He says, say Drake, right? He's talking about Drake. Say Drake, I hear you like him young. You better not ever go to cell block 1 to any bitch that talk to him and then love. Just make sure you hide your little sister from him.
Yeah, that's clear
tough.
as day.
Yeah, so he's literally...
Clear as day, man. They're not even hiding it.
How long's it been out?
That's not appropriate for Super Bowl.
Oh, it's not long. It got released, hang on. Got released on the evening. Oh, it's been out for a year.
What? Okay,
May 4th.
If there was something going to be done about it, you'd think it would have been done about it.
Yeah, no, but
you know what I mean?
Playing it at fucking Super Bowl,
more it's about performing it.
Hang on, man.
No, we're not talking about that.
If it got released last week and it suddenly performed it, it's still fresh, you know, and don't know what's going on. But the thing got released a year ago.
But the lyrics is... Everyone knows what the lyrics are.
Yeah, my point is, if you're going to do something about it, like if it was against me, right? If I haven't done anything in a year... Then what difference does it make if he plays a... It's been played everywhere.
No. I'm not talking about Drake reacting. I'm talking about, is it appropriate to be performed?
Played at Super Bowl.
At a Super Bowl. Because it's clear as day, like...
Why would they
Not
care?
for me.
Why would they care?
They're not accusing the NFL or anything. It's someone else. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's just...
it would have been more appropriate with a bit of Angel of Death by Slayer.
I know. I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just trying to put in perspective... the parties involved and who would object to it or whatever.
Scorched earth erotica, cradle of
you know what I mean?
Anything to do with sport and, you know, like a grand final, it should be a celebration.
Yeah, celebration.
Hey, look, to be honest, no diss to R&B or hip-hop or whatever.
Oh, here we go.
But how long's it been since they've had good freaking rock or metal, you know, arena fucking rock in an arena? What better act do you want for that sort of environment?
They had Kiss.
Okay, then why is it that they
AFL.
consistently book...
Steel Panther, man.
Okay, hang on.
That's who you know.
Okay, hang on. Wait a second. Hang on. Because, you know, I appreciate metal and rock bands and arena rock or whatever. So why is it that they consistently book urban acts?
Because that's what's in right now.
Do you think it's bias? No, it's because it's what's in vogue.
Correct.
What's in vogue now was not in vogue, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Actually, to be fair,
True.
urban's tracked as being in vogue for a pretty long stint. It was
Since the
probably
90s.
late 90s. Yeah. When the Chronic 2001 first dropped, let's say 2000, it was 99.
Yeah.
Since then,
maybe Tupac, late 90s.
Yeah, but that was like 96, 97.
Yeah, I reckon then, man. That was
But
huge.
yeah, but not commercially though.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, but even before that, you had, you De La Soul and stuff like that.
but they weren't as big.
We're talking about...
They were big at the time,
No, they were big. I've seen De La Soul. No, they were big, but I'm talking about commercially viable the way it is now. Hip-hop has probably been 20, 25 years dominating, like, the music scene. Yeah, everything's urban-esque. Yeah?
Definitely from the turn of the century. Definitely from the turn of the century.
Yeah, 100%. That's a long stretch. I mean, how long did rock sort of dominate from?
10 years.
No. You're thinking niche.
But it's more...
but more rock-wise.
Probably like...
That goes back from the 70s, man.
Late 60s.
But hang on. Elvis was playing. That was rock.
50s.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, 50s to probably like 90s.
50s.
Late
Buddy
50s.
Holly.
50s, 60s, right
70s
through
to 80s to 90s.
To the 90s.
That's what I said.
There was a 40-year span.
Yeah.
So that's
of rock.
Longer.
That's true.
That's longer.
I mean, what really
so
popped
different
up?
flavours, but like you said, if you want to go...
Good point.
Elvis was
Absolutely.
was rock.
It was rock. Early
Different to later, but at the end of the day, it was all
No, it was rock. It was band grouped. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jailhouse rock.
Yeah. Exactly. And that would have died with Kurt Cobain, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah?
A bit later.
How much
What do you
later?
reckon, Eddie?
What do you mean later?
It was
Come
still,
on,
man.
It was the downfall. Let's call it the downfall.
No, it was still going through the 90s, man, and then it's sort of...
No, but not...
Yeah, hang on,
It was
wait.
out of the commercialised scene.
Wait, so you had Cobain...
What, you telling me Soundgarden, Live...
But they were coming...
Live was garbage, man. You serious?
Yeah,
You're
but,
gonna
like,
rank-
hang on. We're not talking about who you like.
Damn it! Okay,
We're
hang
talking
on.
about commercial...
I get it.
That's all we're trying to get here.
All right, I'll ask you. Let me ask you guys a question because I had this conversation with someone yesterday about it. Right?
It's always yesterday. You had a conversation.
No,
about
this was
something.
literally
yesterday.
This was literally
Always.
yesterday. I was talking to old Simo about
You
it.
talked.
I was at Aldi's and I was putting my trolley away.
His
I was having this conversation yesterday.
His topics.
That would never happen. I don't shop at Aldi and I don't shop at trolleys worth of shit. I carry my shit in baskets and that's it.
I was putting my basket away. Yes, yeah.
Sorry, you had your arm up. All right. I was thinking, I can't remember how the discussion started, but it was about useless bands and useless artists in the genres, yeah? And I said something about appreciating, we're talking about Lady Gaga, A Star Is Born, yeah? And I said, me and my mate were both saying how, we can appreciate some of her work, but he wasn't a fan of her in the movie. I said, she wasn't bad in the movie. I couldn't stand Bradley Cooper, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And then I brought up how Britney Spears, I was a teen when she hit, with Hit Me Baby One More Time and all that. Like her,
that was late 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, like
mid.
98, 99.
No, it was late 90s.
Was it
Late
late?
90s.
98, 99. Because I was in high
She's
school.
our age. She's our age.
She's a year or two older than me, I think. Yeah.
Her first album came out late 90s.
So I wasn't a fan of her during high school, but then after the fact, when it was about 2009, I started producing music for female singers, and I didn't know how, right? Because all I'd done was electronic music and hip-hop and metal. And so I thought, well, who are the biggest urban female artists now? And Britney was still one of them. So I downloaded 2 or 3 of her albums, and I became a fan. I'm like, hey, these are pretty good, production-wise, right?
Yeah.
Posters and all. Yeah, go.
Yeah, Cynics.
Why, man? Anyway, and so I started appreciating her catalogue, and through that, I started appreciating like Lady Gaga, and I could start seeing different sides of the coin, yeah? I brought up U2. I, to this day, have never heard a song by U2 that I've wanted to hear again. Ever. Ever.
I get what you mean.
I'm eclectic as fuck.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Look, to be fair, maybe it was the time as well.
No, because U2's spanned, man. Remember they did Beautiful Day? What was it for?
No,
was it Tomb Raider?
what I'm trying to get is maybe it was the time when I was younger.
No.
The early stuff, maybe because it was a bit more raw, it was the early stuff. I don't mind it. But then as it got later, it sort of became what you're thinking. Yeah,
I can't stand Bono, like, just generally, right?
Yeah,
He's a Muppet.
That sort of colours the...
Yeah, but I swear to God, I've never heard a song by U2 that I've wanted to hear again.
Like things like Smashing Pumpkins and all that, no go for you?
I've got zero.
Soundgarden.
I've got Smashing Pumpkins. I've got
Soundgarden is...
Hang on.
Yeah.
Another level.
They're grungy, like...
Not really. They just came out at the same time.
Yeah, but U2...
There was elements of grunge, like a bit more...
but they're from
Pumpkins-
Chicago, and they were more of a rock-ish,
Yeah, but
slight metal band. But they came out at that grunge era, so people just dumped them in the same bucket.
listen,
you know what I mean?
Smashing Pumpkins, I've got zero as an MP3 somewhere on my computer. I know I have that, right? I used to love that song.
Yeah.
I'm just making the point. U2 have never heard a song by them that I've wanted to hear again.
Yeah.
Ever.
I can't...
Pumpkins have a few, like Butterfly with Their
Where
Wings
did Pumpkins
and
come
Zero.
into the conversation?
He brought it up.
No, we're just talking about like 90s music when it came out of rock.
Ah.
And
that was my point. You brought up them. There was still in the 90s, you know, but that's when it started to turn. You know what I mean? Yes, we know it continued even to this day, but as far as commercial viability, like huge, Pumpkins were big at the time.
Yeah, but what was bigger?
Whether we agree with it or not, Live was big at the time.
What was bigger?
Hang
you
on,
reckon?
hang on.
Was it grunge or was it trance in the 90s?
Depends where you were on the planet.
Well, that's true because Europe and all that.
America was all over grunge. Europe was all over trance.
Yeah,
Yeah, but don't forget, trance, right, was still in the tail end of, if you remember, in the 70s and 80s, and I know this distinctly because I had this relationship with Vix, as that you guys all know. She didn't know a lot of obviously I dabbled in DJing, right? So I got a big collection of club-oriented music.
Milk crates. The milk crates.
She didn't know a lot of it.
Yeah.
Why? Because she wasn't exposed a lot to the club scene, right? So, especially in the 80s, when we were growing up, there was people who knew radio music. I think we've touched on this a bit before.
Yeah, we have.
And then there was a club scene, right? I knew both, obviously, because I lived in both. But Vicky didn't.
He's got his hand up. I want to ask him a question.
But Vicky didn't know a lot about the... Yeah. So, I would play stuff that I'd go, oh, man, this song was huge and whatever. She's never heard it.
Okay.
You know?
I'm going to ask a question point blank. Dude, you're the oldest one in the room. Where do you get your music from?
These days?
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah? Where did you get it 20 years ago? Remember, 20 years ago isn't that long, like as in technology-wise.
20 years ago, we're still on CD.
20 years ago, I was downloading MP3s 20 years ago.
It was the transition from CDs to MP3s
Where
and stuff.
were you getting like new artists and stuff from? How were you
20
finding
years
out about
ago?
it? Yeah.
I think we were still going to the record shops.
Were you? 20 years ago? 2003?
A good old Sanity.
I think so. Andy? I'm pretty sure.
Look, I used to, being what I came from with the club scene and that, I used to do a lot of, you'd know where to listen to, like niche stations, and plus people that I associated with, we'd talk about a lot, you know, like Concera and that. I used to
with Nick as well.
Associate with all these people. So we'd sort of know, already had stuff, you know, the new things come out from so-and-so and whatever, you know, so there was a lot of that.
And the thing is, what we're trying to say.
Trying to get a point out,
go for it.
20, 25 years ago, and as you said, we dabbled a little bit in the Greek scene and a little bit in the
there was
English, in the English scene,
pub scene,
and there were DJs that specialised in both.
Yeah,
and they were our point of reference. Well, for me anyway, they were always, if I needed something sourced and I wanted fresh music, I knew where to go. And you probably,
I'm bringing it up. Sorry, Dave, because I'm bringing it up because I specifically remember a convo, and it was probably, I can't remember where I was. Maybe I was definitely with the old man and like an uncle or something. There's a few oldies there. I mean, my old man was 30 years older than me, so if I was like 20, he was probably like
50,
touching 50. Yeah, and the people around would have been around that age as well. And I still remember us talking about music and stuff like that, and they said to me, "Where do you get new music from?" And I said, "The internet." I go, "Friends, you know, we just share stuff. I see it, I read about it online, I research artists, blah, blah." And to them, it was a foreign concept. Like, what do you mean? You know, like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, what do you mean? Because I remember someone saying, "Where do you get new music from?" Then
I'll tell you where I got mine from.
Oh God,
I'm being serious. Do you know where? Where? Video Hits. B.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Rage.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was, mate. I still remember Informer and all that shit that's coming on the radio.
Yeah.
Shit, mate.
Absolutely.
that was the first CD we ever bought. My man bought me that CD.
Rage, man. V and all that, man. V was the
Started with
Foxtel one.
MTV,
Foxtel one,
and then you had VH1, and then you had
it was not uncommon.
Yes, V.
V. It was not uncommon as well. Music on the USB stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But where did you find it to get to that point? That's what he's trying to say. And a lot of it was from that, man. From V.
Yep.
Saturday mornings, mate, you're without fail, you'll get 9 till 12, just tunes, man, back to back. From 50 to the biggest track.
But even today, if you surf the cable televisions and all that, they're still there. They're all still there.
That's what I'm saying. That's why the only thing I miss about cable TV, like movies and stuff, it's all great on demand, just play it. But with cable TV, you could literally walk into a channel. Go into a channel. It's like, oh, man, I haven't seen this for ages, and like continue on. You don't have to watch the whole movie. But the other one was music as well. Like, there's no streaming service for music like that, where they should, like, Netflix should dabble on, you know what, have like a channel that actually plays music on the side or something like that, but would be like a consistent
we love
stream.
that. Agreed.
Yeah, but it should be for a lot of people do like that too, man.
Yeah, but if it was viable for them, right?
Everything's
I think
a commercial.
MTV would have been doing it still. MTV literally existed because it was music television. That was what it was.
Yeah.
And it was huge.
But when it started, that's all it was. It was MTV. That's it. Now it's only MTV in name. I don't think they even do any music anymore.
MTV through the 80s, from mid-80s through to probably early 2000s.
What do they do now? They just do...
I don't know. I don't watch.
They just do like
massive
TV and stuff.
Huge.
Reality TV and stuff
a lot
like that.
of people, before they go out, they'll literally watch
or
like,
go
put on
home.
a channel.
No, Con. I could tell you, when I used to get home,
you still do there,
and you whack it on, and you watch it.
That's what you do now.
If you're going to have the
local Corona, the local
nightcap.
Nightcap. He loves his nightcaps. This guy.
Nightcaps.
He loves the nightcap.
What's the nightcap?
Just a little bit more dabbling before he goes to bed. Like come home at like 3. Oh yeah, where's the Corona?
You remember when
Mate,
the son
was
got
in
married?
Greece. Was calling me at 4 o'clock in the morning. Nightcap.
Yeah, I was. But what about the son's wedding?
The nightcap there. This guy fell asleep on the bed.
Fell asleep on the bed.
What do you mean?
This guy fell asleep on the bed. This guy's downing the leftover bubuñetas of Tipperol.
Yeah, Tipperol.
and
he's just turfing him.
Just necking?
Yeah,
that's like this big man.
Mind you, the wedding was done. This was after. We're going back to the room.
You put some music on there. That's exactly that sort of scene. That's what we're trying to say.
Actually, I remember doing that when I used to stay at my cousin's house when we'd go clubbing. Like, so we were like 18, 19. We'd go out, and unless it was 5 a.m. and we were like crawling in the bed because the sun was coming up, we'd probably sit on the couch and put on like MTV or something and just watch random tunes.
Man, do you remember that one
after
night?
Suvlaki?
Yeah, exactly.
Before we went out, we bought the most disgusting kiss beer at your parents' house, and we were going out somewhere. Was it Cherry Bar? We were watching a movie at the actor, something Lamas.
Oh, the guy who married Olivia Newton-John.
No.
Was it him?
Do you remember that one time?
That name rings a bell, Lamas.
Hang on. I'm remembering two specific times.
And kiss beer.
Hang on. This was...
And kiss beer.
This has gone back. But
Lorenzo Lamas?
Was it Lorenzo Lamas?
Possibly.
Where we watched the movie?
Isn't he the guy
Don the Dragon Adams.
Was he like a martial arts action star?
I'm pretty sure he was.
We watched that.
I remember one time we were drinking at my mum's. We were watching was it Sudden Death with Van Damme? About where he's at the stadium. Have some money so we can get their soda. Is it that
soda
one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But we were drinking kiss beers. They were terrible.
They were fucking
kiss beers.
Yeah,
remember
just the marketing fucking malakia. Standards, man.
But they were the best, man. Like the pre's, the outing, and then the nightcap at the end, if you can make it to that point. But
actually, speaking of musical integrity, here's the thing. I thought about this the other day. It was actually pissing me off. Okay, do you guys listen to country music at all?
Not really.
All right.
On the odd occasion.
Country is a genre of music. I don't have to follow artists. I can just put it on and I can just, vibe to it. If I'm cleaning the house or something, right? So this guy, Blake Shelton, popped up. I can't remember how he popped up on my Instagram, right? But some clip of his music or something, like a song playing, came up. So I looked into the song because I didn't know who he was, right? It's got a song called God's Country. I can put it on. Actually, yeah, maybe we'll put it on. It's nice little tune, but it just struck me a bit, and I had to go back and suss it out.
Sounds like Bon Jovi.
Yeah, it does, actually.
Young gun.
Yeah. Why am I just picturing someone in the background just going, America?
Right outside this warm church town, there's a gold dirt road to a whole
sunrise.
Yeah, man, this stinking country.
Yeah.
Man. But stinking, like, American country tracks, man.
Alright, so, take all this, yeah? As an artist, the sound, the imagery, blah, 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 okay? This guy's actually smashed it. He's got 232 million views in 5 years on this thing, right? I looked it up, the guy's killed it, blah, 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 blah. It was like a songwriter, sort of like became bigger. This is
But don't they have 230 million cowboys in America?
Yeah, the state of Texas is 500 million, yeah. Alright, so, I looked him up, yeah, just out of curiosity. And he was like, raised in whatever, and like at 15 or something, he went to Nashville. Like standard, just started hitting goals, like as far as songwriting, producing, performing, whatever. I was listening to this, and he's coming across as like a real good old boy, blah, 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 working out back, and blah, 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 blah. He never did. He's not a freaking cowboy. He's not a dirt farmer. Like, he never was. But he's writing the song.
Yeah.
To speak
the next guy, Luke Combs.
Luke Combs is another guy.
He was
right?
here yesterday.
He's an Aussie guy, isn't he?
No, he's here.
He's not.
But like, he never was a dirt farmer that like rose from freaking rodeos and whatever. So I'm like, hang on, man. If Vanilla Ice got fucking blacklisted because he portrayed like this thug life, and it turned out he never had it, how come he can do it?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Is there any form of like? Do you know what I mean?
Is that discriminatory? Could be.
Is it? I don't know. No, I'm just saying. Because he's portraying an image that is clearly not his own. Maybe he grew up around cowboys.
Or watched a lot of cowboy movies. What, I mean...
Brokeback.
Yeah.
It's the only one. It's the only one you're going to think of. There's 100 westerns out there. The Duke.
I was actually
you know what I mean? Clint Eastwood.
I was thinking about The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but I don't know what
sure. Straight away.
That's one of my favourite movies of all time.
That is my dad's favourite movie.
So is my dad. It's all Greek dad's favourite movie, man. What are you talking about?
When my dad passed away, there's a copy of the movie
in there.
This thing with him.
You serious?
I'll put it in there.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
I remember watching it with my old man in Dramana. Like, because everyone lost it. Like, what the hell is this? It's like,
I still remember
my dad adored Clint Eastwood.
I still remember my dad's favourite part where he's in the bathtub and then you're going to shoot, don't talk.
My dad's favourite part?
And you just killed him,
because my mum being a lifetime hairdresser, right?
Yeah.
She used to do her hair blonde all the time, right? Yeah. So my dad's favourite part, she'd come along, you'd look at her, hey, blondie.
Man,
he's doing all the time.
I have a hankering of watching that movie right now, man.
And he's doing that accent
That's
too.
Great.
I've been meaning to go back and do all of them. Yeah. Anyway, back to my point.
Yeah.
Is that not a form of artistic integrity or like
100%
chicanery? I mean,
yeah, but you know what? Again,
I'm sure
it's coming back to the era, though, man. We're talking about.
I'm sure
30
others
years
do
ago.
it and have done it. The question is, what's been the backlash or outcome
so we're
over
talking
it?
about hip hop, yeah. In hip hop, if you portray yourself to be some sort of street cred guy,
or gangster,
so you're saying every single gangster rapper out there was a gangster?
No, but that's the point.
That's what I'm saying.
If you have
yeah,
that's like now that's part of your resume. If you don't have that credibility, you don't get far. Don't talk about it if you're not part of it, right? Ice Cube wasn't a gangbanger, but he grew up amongst gangbangers, so he wrote their stories, and that was the whole point. Yeah,
Was Dio a wizard?
of course he was. Nothing but.
Hold it down! Yeah.
Only.
Anyway,
And he had a pet dragon.
I'm just making a point. I'm making a point. All right.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So what do you,
Look, some styles of music, the paqueto, the resume, or as you call it,
It's just face palming.
it comes more with the what did you grow up as? Like we just talked about Dio. People know.
Paqueto, man.
People know he wasn't a wizard or whatever, but that's he was.
He was. That's the imagery of the genre itself.
Yeah, but people know he wasn't doing it. They just get into it, right? Whereas what you talk about, like especially gangster rap and that type of thing, right? They're more, if you're not genuine, they get offended over it.
Yeah, okay.
Same thing doesn't happen in a lot of other genres.
It depends.
You get what I'm saying?
What genre? Yeah. That makes sense. Makes sense.
So take a pop quiz, yeah? Knowing that he wasn't a good old boy on the ranch.
Obviously, 230 million Cowboys don't care. That's my point.
Was it how many subscribers?
3.3 million.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like that song. Do you hear that song? Is it the Rich Men from Richmond? It came out during the election process. I think it was the last one. There's a song called Rich Men from Richmond. It was an acoustic sort of song. Another good old boy in the forest singing with his dog.
Look at the next
There
one.
you go. There you go.
I lived it.
Suggested.
I lived it.
Yeah. Oliver Anthony.
No, but look at the one
I
after.
lived it.
I lived it. So you were literally talking about how he didn't live it.
He didn't
There's
live
actually
shit.
a song called "I Lived It." That is fucking
Algorithms.
Come back as a country boy. You don't live on a ranch, bro.
Yeah.
You live in California.
No,
like
I get 100% what you're saying.
Yeah,
but
so
I do reckon
that song, right?
as far as music goes, it depends on where you're from, what it's
So
about.
I hate that I'm doing it, but I'm going to have to segue into it just because of the point. So the Republican campaign 4 years ago, whenever it was, right, or a year ago,
and we're going down.
Relax, we're not going to talk about it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, bullshit.
They quasi-adopted. So Trump's had this problem of adopting songs by artists that don't support him. So they've come out saying,
right, 100%.
Cease and desist, I don't want the hand jobs, right? So when that came out, they were all over it because he's talking about corporate America, like, rich man, blah, 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 blah. The Republicans came in and said, that's speaking to our people, the rural demographic, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He came out and said, actually, I've never voted Republican. I wouldn't vote Republican.
Yeah.
I don't have much interest in politics, but I'm definitely not supporting the Republican Party. So they were forced to cease and desist on that one as well. They had to distance themselves. Just making a point, this imagery of like the good old boy in America, when you've got this dickhead singing about it, it shits me because it's like, there is no artistic integrity. It's not like you're like Lady Gaga playing characters clearly, or Prince playing characters clearly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, or Dio playing a wizard.
Yeah, like they're clearly caricatures of like a person. But
yeah, and that's what I mean. Whereas
if he's wearing the trucker hat and he's got the dirt still on his face,
yeah.
And then you read his bio and it's like, bro,
dirt on his face,
like Jimmy Barnes, working class man.
Barnes is a legend, man.
Watch your mouth, boy.
Are you dissing Barnes?
Barnesy was meant to finish
I'm not
like
dissing him.
30
I'm
years
saying,
ago, and he's still going.
Has
anyone ever seen Jimmy Barnes live?
No.
No, I haven't had the chance.
Where'd you see him live?
In Melbourne, 1981.
Oh shit, prime.
Ish.
Prime, man.
It's my brother.
Yeah?
Prime.
What was it like?
Doesn't even remember it though. It would have been tanked probably.
I was only 16 or 17, dickweed.
Dickweed.
Do you remember it, like as a show?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Stunning.
Yeah?
Fantastic. And don't forget, Australian bands through that period from...
Imagine listening to like Noiseworks
You're
and shit
not
like
talking
that.
to my like
Sorry,
Noiseworks was there. Anything from the mid 70s right through to the late 80s, and you'll agree with me here, the quality of Australian band was just next level. From Skyhawks to Little River Band, and then We had the boys from across the Dutch. They were good as well. They were fantastic too.
Yeah.
And it was just we were spoiled.
You didn't like split ends?
They were big.
All right, hang on. I don't dispute that they went big, like Crowded House and like the rest of them, Hunters and Collectors. Like, they're all an amalgamation of each other, basically. I have a problem with, I call it Kmart rock, because all those songs ended up being on Kmart ads. Like,
good point.
It's just,
good point.
For me, as someone, okay, my musical production and taste was first and foremost melody, riff, melody, like that sort of thing. Then I go to lyrics after that. The first thing for me was the catchiness of the tune. All those bands have the same sound, the same 4 chords. It all blends.
There may be some, but not all.
I'm not. Okay, I'm talking on a purely technical point, man.
Because when you produce, it's like anything. When you coach a team, you go beyond just what the product shows.
Nah. So they weren't just anyway.
But what I'm trying to say here, Dim, is that there was a thing called Countdown.
Yeah, I remember Countdown.
And Countdown was as big a show in my youth. If I relate to anything, it was a Sunday evening at 6:00. Watch Countdown. Correct, Andy?
Yeah, it was Shell was it Molly?
Was huge.
Molly Meldrum.
Meldrum.
Yeah, he was massive. You know,
which one did Shell?
AC/DC played there, and with Bon Scott.
Shell started as one of the acts. With Skyhawks.
Yeah, but wasn't he hosting one of those?
Into TV and stuff. No,
he did Shell's Neighborhood later.
Yeah, he did like a kid show. Shell's Neighborhood.
And then he did, didn't he do
he did like
an outdoor...
Yeah, like a Reno show or something.
Oh, yes, because he was a chippy by trade.
Yes, yeah, he did that.
I remember that.
He had that.
Skyhawks were a great band.
No, they're great.
Great
yeah,
band.
100%.
Wonderful
I rated
band.
them. Yeah. Do you remember Skyhawks there?
Yeah, man. Red Simmons. Red Simmons.
Yeah, what did he play? He was the...
It was a guitarist.
Guitarist.
I removed it right there.
He was
Living in the 70s. You know, that album, Living in the 70s, was just... If you didn't have that album when you were growing up as a teenager, you'd be frowned upon.
They're the owners of an Iron Maiden-inspired cover.
Which one?
Women in Uniform.
Oh, what a tune that is.
What a song.
What a tune.
No, he thinks I'm joking.
That's funny.
The way they said, what a tune.
What a song. That was. What a film clip, too.
Just turn the hard walk, man. What a track.
Tid sent me a song by Economopoulos or someone the other day. And he just had a voice message attached to it saying, Komatara de Malaka. I'm like, yeah,
no, you still give me that captain going on the front of the...
Yeah, man. Oh, that one. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Komatara, Paqueto, Galapagos. We're going well.
Just stopping the feed for a second. If you've made it this far and you haven't already, please subscribe to our Spotify, YouTube, and social media accounts. For every new like that we receive, we get a crisp $100 bill from Mark Zuckerberg, and we put it right back into production costs. This, of course, is absolute nonsense and made up, but we'd still really appreciate the like. And now back to the episode.
Anyway, I heard someone say the T word.
What T word? Oh,
no.
Oh, yeah, shit. We have not sat down since, because the election was like the day before. As in the pod
was the
day
dance
before
again,
the
George?
election.
That was the dance?
The hand jobs. Yeah, the election was the day after the last pod.
And
we had our doubts. I said that I thought he shouldn't, but I have a high...
And you were adamant.
I said there was... Yeah, I didn't like the way it was looking. That was a landslide. It was fucked. To the point where I thought like there had to be some tampering or something, man. The money that Musk put into it.
With what's going on around there lately, it's not even worth...
I'll just say one thing. I think it's a bit odd that no one's... Like, he's doing all this shit right now. Like, you know, just stripping everything away.
Didn't he, sign 140 odd bills in the first day?
Yeah, like, dude, he's...
Executive orders.
Apparently he signed more of those in like... He's only been in for
2 weeks.
a week or whatever.
Executive orders.
That other presidents have done in their whole career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's basically just stripping everything. Like, tearing everything down. Like, dude, the Board of Education.
And a lot of those executive orders, there's still judges' backlog going through them because just because he writes it doesn't mean it's guaranteed to happen. It still goes through a little bit of a
Procedure,
law check
yeah.
and whatever. But he's like, I'm going to put executive order that Santorini Blue can't fucking
Mate,
can't train on Saturdays.
Santorini Blue.
Holds it
I
up,
love
shows
it.
it to everyone.
Oh, yeah, don't you love it?
Yeah. Now look,
Anyway.
well, all I'm saying is this: everything that he's doing. Yeah, I switched off. I said this to the other guys as well. After the election, I gave it a week of just watching responses and shit, and then I just switched off. I'm out of the algorithm. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want to follow it. I don't want to hear about it. But it's starting to poke through because you can't avoid it. And the last one I read about it was him shutting down the Board of Education and the Department of Education.
Yeah, exactly.
And we discussed it on the last pod. It's like, well, what could that do? I said, well, it effectively leaves the powers of education back to each state. So if the boys in Alabama decide they're not all about that book learning, then they're not. That's it. It's like, okay, we set the curriculum now.
Yeah, but didn't he hire some lunatic evangelist to head the new that he invented the position of holy faith,
something about
of Christianity? He goes, we've got to bring politics and the church back together or something.
Yeah. Everything. I've just stepped away from it. I don't want to. I can't be fucked with it.
No, I agree with you. He's just gone like this.
They're going to enter a dark age, as far as I'm concerned, man.
I think they already have.
Sir?
He's holding back. He's going to be very, very cautious of what he's going to say.
I agree with snippets of what you're saying.
Yeah.
I do agree wholeheartedly. But I think Americans voted with their hands.
Yeah.
They voted change.
Yeah.
In a massive way.
I think
because everything that is being done, he preempted everyone. Said, this is what's going.
No, he
Project
didn't.
2025 was an open book.
He did not. He never told people he was going to shut down Department of Education and various other things that he's done. All of those things have been popped up.
Borders.
I never said borders, man.
The trans thing. Yeah, two genders. In law.
I never said borders. I never said trans.
You were talking
I said
about
Department of Education.
Okay, that's one. Politics is politics, but he said he's going to do. What is he going to do to the public service?
So annexing Greenland, Canada, and Gaza Strip, he preempted those.
That was a joke. That was such a joke.
Did he preempt those?
Gaza.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He didn't say any of those things.
But that's politics.
That's not politics, man. That's borderline Hitler invading Poland. Politics.
So
Canada should be the 51st state of America.
To me,
is that politics, man? Come on.
That's flaky. But
you know what I liked about
and he
that?
didn't just say it once.
No,
he's been saying it
he said
consistently.
it yesterday.
He even said it today. And then there's people, Canadians, who, in the beginning, like, Nere, Malaka, whatever, now they're getting, this is getting borderline ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Where you fucking, can it?
Look, this is the funniest thing, right? When I think about it, Trump in his first term declared a state of emergency because of the price of steel that Canadians were supplying him with. So he declared a state of emergency to divert funds to build the wall along Mexico, which never happened anyway, which Mexico was meant to pay for. That is just a ball of hypocritical bullshit right there.
Yeah.
But they still voted for it.
Correct.
Yeah. So when I heard that whole about annexing Canada into the States, I just laughed.
Look, some of it is just outrageous.
Yeah.
And we know that. However, if we focus back to our economic point of view, Americans are doing it very hard.
They are, but raising tariffs isn't going to help anything. It's only going to make things more expensive.
No, they've raised it all across, even with the
25%. Came through today. Yeah, I agree with you. They're taking a massive gamble. You see that they've cut back on infrastructure, they've cut back on public service. They've slashed the public service by 1/3.
Yeah.
So
time will tell.
Which is not. I don't necessarily disagree with that because we have that issue here too.
Yeah. We're talking about that in the last
35,000 public service, and then we've got economic growth.
Yeah,
it's not because it's costing us billions.
Time will tell, but I reckon because he's done it before. He's just doing everything to line his pockets and set up himself and his family.
The thing is,
and whatever gets in his way, he doesn't care.
I've said
He's using the office he's in to get his gains. That's it.
I said this on the last pod with the other boys. He's not going to live forever. He's already in his 80s.
Late 70s.
Yeah, you know
but
what I
the
mean?
problem
Like,
is
by the time he ends,
the poor
he'll be 82.
suckers that listen to these guys and whatever, they'll think he's doing that stuff for them. He's not.
Well, no.
He doesn't give a rat's.
Did you see all the...
Speaking of what he preempted for his election, didn't he say, when I get in, the Ukraine war will be over,
in a week.
groceries and eggs and everything will be down, I'll have it fixed like that. Now, 2 weeks in, it's like, it's pretty hard to fix that, and he's fucking full of shit there.
Look, you're not going to get everything right. I get it.
You're not going to get everything right. He promises the world.
We need to build
and
a wall
once he
between
got the
these two.
position,
No.
he's full of it, man. He's a born liar, and people fucking fall for his shit. Anyway,
Is it just a cult of personality? Like, how can he be... I mean, we're looking at it from the outside in, and there are people here that, like, follow his rhetoric to a T, which is amazing. But why... this guy, the fidget spinner.
There's a lot of people.
There's
There's a high percentage that they think that Trump is literally like the second coming.
Yeah, the
Like,
God King, man.
Yeah, man.
yeah, but don't you... Okay. I don't know what the terminology is, because I'm trying to think of it.
We're
Slipped
talking
my
about a
mind.
high percentage.
No,
We're
what
not
I'm saying
talking about-
is that, you know how there's people who go, the Liberals say this, Labor says that, I'll assess. And it's the same thing over there for their people, right? But then you got others that are like, I can't stand what's been going on,
the last 4 years.
so it must be them. So he's against them. So he's my saviour. And no matter what he spews out of his mouth, I'll believe it because he is anti-them.
Did you see
Do you know what I mean?
Did you see all the groups, all the minority groups that backed him during the presidency, like Latinos for Trump and blah, blah, blah?
And he
Arabs-
shafted every
Arabs
single
for
one of
Trump.
them.
Arabs for Trump changed their name to Arabs for Peace because of what he's doing in Gaza now. Because he's just gone back on everything. All the Latinos are getting deported.
He has shafted all of
I
them. That's my
vote
point.
For Donald Trump, and now it's like, they're like, nah, man,
Get out.
my cousins are getting shafted. I can't. Literally.
And then Mr. Hypocrite, because that's what he is. You know how he's all immigrants, no good, we're anti-immigrant, etc., right? Suddenly, he's doing executive order to fast-track South African immigrants. Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard that too.
How convenient. So you're telling me he doesn't do stuff that is for his Sinferon. He's full of shit, man. And he's going to destroy that country. And unfortunately,
It was already destroyed,
we're all gonna cop the flack for it as collateral damage.
You reckon?
No, I don't think so.
Yep.
I don't think it'd be that bad.
Anyway, time will tell.
But time will tell. I mean, but do we need a correction? Yes.
What's the correction?
In terms of we went far radical to a radical state, across the world.
Oh, yeah.
The wokeism is
No. That went
that's
fever
the
pitch.
reason
Yeah.
why people have gravitated to someone like him. Trump, he does nothing for me. Trump, absolutely nothing for me as a person.
He does a lot for me.
However, he does. The reason why I believe, this is just my own personal opinion, that people voted for him is because of the radicalism that's gone across the world.
I'd said this on another rep. We said that traditional centrists, like say myself, my opinion now seems like it's closer to the right than it is to the left. You know what I mean? Than to the centre.
Same here.
My opinions haven't changed, but
No.
just the state of the world has pushed
You
me
are spot on.
to the right.
You are absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
Because of the radicalism and the absolute wokeness that we live in.
Yeah.
Has your views and what you believe in have not changed one iota.
No.
However, but because the traditional parties of alignment, one has swung so far that way. That's why people are gravitating back against the other way. Does that make sense?
No, it does, because if you had to put me into some sort of political ideology or camp or whatever, you'd say I'm a progressive centralist, basically. You know what I mean? Like equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Yes to this, no to that.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah. Right? So straddling a line where you're having some traditional norms, but at the same time being progressively minded and more inclusive, but not to the degree of nuttiness. My mate sent me a video today.
Oh, of course, today.
It was.
I was yesterday today.
It was Simo again. Well, I'm having convos with people. I'm sorry, Con. I live in a world with people try to interact with me.
Look.
Oh, really?
Look what happened on the weekend. Again, the by-elections here.
Ah, yeah. Same shit. Yeah.
Same.
So the video was of some school. The kids were about 3 to 4 years old, and it was like trans inclusion and something awareness.
What are these kids?
Yeah, queer and trans inclusion. I'm like, these kids are 3 and 4. At that age, you don't need to bring up someone's sexuality as a concept.
Absolutely,
it's not something to discuss.
Bravo.
If a kid, all right, look,
High school's a different story, but not primary.
if you've got a white kid, right, and he's next door to a black kid, if you just let it be, they're going to be best friends.
100%.
Standard. And if the white kid turns out to be gay, no one's going to give a shit. It doesn't matter. They're best friends. That's inclusion. But at 3 to 4. Like, why are you bringing up sexuality? That makes no fucking sense.
Correct.
It's not there.
And that is a very, very good example about this.
The pendulum you haven't swung, yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
There's a whole plethora of issues, of little things like that are frustrating mainstream.
Yeah.
Or whatever, however you want to define mainstream. That is the level of frustration. People want to go back to somewhere between, a little bit on the left side of centre to a little bit of the right side of centre. Because traditionally, Australian political parties have always, the pendulum's about that far.
Yeah, it's one issue that might separate.
There's the middle, and you might have, we've had some parties that have been on the left-hand side of the pendulum, but one's a little bit lefter than the other. That's been the norm. Unfortunately, what we have right now is we probably have the Conservatives sitting about here, but we've got this mob sitting about here.
I think you can summarise it all in one Greek.
I disagree with that, George.
One Greek phrase.
Are you telling me that they haven't gone further right as well?
Who?
Oh my God!
So what? Because he said we've got one flag, not 3.
I never mentioned the flag, man.
I'll give you some examples. I'll give you a whole heap of examples.
Okay.
Now
we'll agree to disagree.
Oh no! It's
Dim, do you have the popcorn?
no.
Shisha.
This is the worst Labor government that I have ever seen in my life.
And the last 10 years of Liberal government we had were the worst I've ever seen in my life too. So how do we resolve that?
Did you have dough in your pocket?
Did I have dough in my pocket?
Did you have dough in your pocket?
Oh my God!
Hang on.
So you're telling me now that you don't have dough in your pocket because the Labor government came in and destroyed everything. That's basically what you're telling me.
I'm going to give you 3 words, right? And this will decide the election. It's called cost of living. We'll leave it at that. Cost of living will decide
America just proved that cost of living doesn't determine who is fit for running a country.
Andy,
and I'll leave it at that.
Wow. Wow.
Hang on. Was there not excessive spending during COVID? So you're saying there was no excessive spending during COVID?
Of course
there was no excessive spending during COVID.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Of course we're paying for it.
That was the Labor government in Victoria.
Of course.
Yeah, but there's state and there's federal.
The federal government was running the country.
Both are we talking about?
Oh no, we're talking federally.
I thought you were talking state.
But since Albanese's come into power, right? He hasn't made one decision. You have a look at the energy policy. Why are we were supposed to be $250 better off? Yeah,
were we?
That's what he said. Each Australian household will be $250 better off with your power bills. Well, guess what? What we're paying? We're paying $1,000 more.
Are we?
100% we are.
Yeah.
Okay? So that alone, with the poverty line that's moved again,
yeah.
If you think that cost of living is not a vote issue, we'll have to wait and see in a few months.
The problem
because
is
people are hurting.
Yeah, but I think it's a worldwide issue, though.
Yeah, I know, but people are going to vent. People are going to vent.
It's not just Australia, though.
Yeah, but this is the whole point what we're trying to say.
It's a worldwide.
It is.
What's the cause of it versus where it came from and who's to blame? So you're clearly putting it on Albo. Worst government ever in Australia.
Ever.
It's all his fault.
Without a question of doubt.
Oh, that's your opinion,
He's the
George.
worst. He for me is the most inept Prime Minister I have ever
You
seen.
seriously think that in front of Morrison and that?
Morrison, look, the only get out of jail card I give Morrison is
there
that
is that get out of jail card.
Yeah, they
for
went
Morrison.
through a pandemic, 1 in 100 years. All right,
here we go.
No one knew across the world. Correct?
There we go.
So glad we brought it up.
I know, love it.
There we go.
Whoops, I said the
And
Q
I'm not,
word.
I'm not a Liberal voter.
So once in a lifetime, etc., he gets to get out of jail free card. Okay. However, Dan doesn't get a jail free card. Is that right?
Dan who? Andrews.
You see where I'm coming here? So for Dutton, sorry for Morrison, it's okay. He had to go
We were
through a
locked up for
pandemic.
2 years, Andy. Are you
What's
fucking
good for the
serious?
goose, good for the gander, mate.
Are you serious? Are you talking about Dan Andrews? You have the audacity to talk about Dan Andrews. The most locked up state in the world. The world.
That's actually pretty impressive when you think about it. The world, man.
The world.
We were the most.
It
This guy here.
Hang on, it wasn't. But anyway,
Who was?
It was. It wasn't.
It was.
I thought it was.
No.
No, I'm not trolling. I actually thought it was.
I thought it was too, but
People thought it was too, but it wasn't.
Hang on, I'll look this
But
up.
anyway, that's not the point.
I'll look this
The
up.
point is,
let's put the ball.
my point is that
Can everyone stop yelling just for one?
Morrison, who I think is the worst prime minister we've ever had in this country,
Okay.
I'll give him a jail free card because we went through the pandemic. However, Dan, no way. No, he doesn't get any allowance for we went through a pandemic.
Can I ask you a question? Andrew? Andrew, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go.
Well,
Yeah, he obviously told you why he doesn't like him, right? The bad thing. What has he done good?
Albo.
What has he done good?
What's Albo done in
What's
this
the
in this
positive?
term?
The
What's he
positive-
done
the
good?
What's he done?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on, Tant. Before we get to that, Toronto is actually the longest continuous COVID lockdown of any major city. Yeah.
What about number of days? Not continuous. Have
Yeah,
a look.
not
Have a look at
continuous.
the
I
amount.
think Melbourne was the longest lockdown consecutive.
Yeah, that's
6 lockdowns totaling 262. Oh, no. 262 days was Melbourne's all up.
yep.
Toronto's was 245 longest consecutive. And then Buenos Aires
So we're the
is
longest.
somewhere around there. Either way, if you're looking at a snapshot of the world, you're literally by weeks, like a week or two difference. But Toronto, Buenos Aires, and Melbourne were like the three, pretty much.
Anyway, answer my question.
So,
Look at his face.
Nothing?
anyway,
Nah, I'm out.
That escalated quickly.
Hang on, where's the song? We need this to fire it up. Wait.
Oh my god.
Hang on, do you remember this song? This was one of the best songs of all time, man. Perfect. This is what we need. This is what we need. Yeah, tell me you remember this.
of course I do.
This
They're
is the
playing to
best.
win. They had the VFL. Remember they
So they're the kind of songs you have to have on halftime shows. And
had it. You remember this time I'm playing to win with all the AFL there with the VFL.
yeah, man, this is halftime show quality. How can this not be Arena Rock, man?
Who was the lead singer before Johnny Farnham?
Little River Band.
What was his name, Eddie?
Was it Ross?
Shark.
Was it Ross?
Glenn Shark.
Glenn Shorrock.
Okay, cool. Who would you, if you had to pick an Aussie singer as being like the pinnacle of Aussie sort of music?
seen him.
Who would it be?
You've seen him.
Who?
Barnesy.
Would it be Barnesy? Barnesy or Farnsey?
Oh.
Or is there someone else there that we forget about?
Look, Bon Scott for me was always a...
Oh, Scott, yeah.
Bon Scott for me was...
Yeah.
Look, that whoever loved him, really loved him, but I think these guys were bigger.
Bon Scott didn't last the test of time because he left the planet early.
Yeah.
Farnham was more worldwide.
Was he?
Than
Farnham. Farnham's made more comebacks than...
yeah, but was Farnsey worldwide?
Yeah.
Not as much as you think.
No. Sure?
No.
I thought it was more like localized.
If anything...
Look, AC/DC
Barnesy probably got more...
exposure?
Especially with solo.
No.
Because he solo career he launched in America.
Who?
Barnesy.
Really?
Yeah, not the very first one, but the intention was, I think, with the second album.
Was that late 80s?
He went and did it in America. That's where he got it recorded, and he hired help, through his management, songwriters to help.
It's like American-based songwriters.
It was Americanized, that's right.
So John Farnham sold over 6.37 million albums.
Who came out first, Farnsey or Barnesy?
Farnsey.
Did he?
Yeah.
Farnham.
I don't know.
He came
It was
out
from the 70s. Well, actually,
late
it was from the 60s.
He came late 60s.
As a youngster, he was late 60s.
I think was he identified on Young Talent Time at the time? Was it?
Young Talent Time wasn't around then.
What are you looking up?
12 million albums.
No, he started on those fucking...
So, there we go.
Bandstand or something, or whatever.
Bandstand.
Back then.
Bravo.
So, 12 million for Barnes. And what did I say about?
6.
So, yeah, Barnesy by double.
Go, just as a matter of interest.
But that's John Farnham. And
go
Barnesy.
AC/DC, Bon Scott.
Oh, yeah, but fuck.
Yeah,
AC/DC is worldwide.
How many albums are you talking?
Well, Farnham was more Australian.
Yeah.
And then he had a little bit... He tried, like all of them do.
All of them together.
He tried to get a little bit of overseas exposure. He got a little bit with Little River Band, because obviously Little River Band was well-known overseas.
Yeah.
But didn't really happen. Whereas I think Barnes got more, especially because he took that actual step. Like I said, he actually got... It might have been his second album. Wasn't the first one. I think it was his second album. He actually went on purpose, and he got it recorded. He even wrote with writers over there specifically. Yeah. And they go, we're going to do this so you can crack the American market.
I always feel like Farnsey's underappreciated. Like, he's forgotten in Australian folklore, man.
Who's a pioneer.
He's...
Yeah.
You know, Whispering Jack was the biggest, probably the biggest for a period between 86 and 88, that period there. Whispering Jack was...
Yeah, but see, like, I appreciate that, like, now he's been ill or whatever, he's had multiple surgeries, yada, 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 right? So they're not going to roll him out and bandstand the man. But growing up, right, the last, say, 40 years, you see the same relics being pulled out on the TV for whatever, yeah? Like some fucking unfurling of some theatre or grand final day. Who's the Grand Marshal of Moomba this year? Oh, it's Kerr Kennelly again. Oh, great. That's fantastic. It's Daryl Summers again. Fuck me. Like, it's the same heads consistently.
Talk about the same heads coming back. Did you hear about Black Sabbath?
Oh, yeah, he's doing that last show.
Yeah, man, that's gold.
That is...
Mate, didn't you see, which one of the chat things he's written? I'm in. I'm in.
Oh, it's going to be a show of a lifetime.
Where was that? You said, I'm definitely...
that was for...
Or was that the...
That was the NFL there coming to MCG.
Well, that's going to be good too.
Oh, the NFL?
The gridiron.
Oh, you didn't know?
Just for what? There's an exhibition?
No.
Legit league match.
League match in October next year.
They're going to fly him here to play a league match?
You know they already do that in other parts of the world.
There's 14 games. I think it's 14 or 15 games.
So they've obviously done a deal as promo.
Because the NFL's not big enough.
MCG.
Well, that's what they're doing, you know. So they can brag that we're not just called world champions for nothing. You know what I mean?
What the World Series in baseball, man.
Yeah. I know.
Give me a break there.
Like in anything, this is why the round ball has a unique, and that's why Australian round ball, the A League, doesn't have impetus. When you don't have promotion relegation, it's pointless.
What do you mean promotion relegation?
Like a proper structure of
you finish
League
last,
1, League 2, You know, the best of 2 go up to 1, and like in England, how you
the EPL.
they don't have that here.
Wait,
The
can't teams,
A-League-
I thought teams
the
can get
A-League
relegated.
the A-League is A-League.
Why is this for?
That's it.
You mentioned something about Premier League.
Yeah, what?
It's the A-League is just A-League. There's no
Liverpool
up or
played
down.
last night.
Ah,
Yeah, I know, that was shit, like a pile of whatever.
who'd they play?
They play.
And he'll agree to this, even though he won't want to. It was FA Cup.
Yes.
And
We copped it too.
you play a lot of competitions.
Yeah.
And I'm not dissing the FA Cup. I think it's obviously important in its own right. However, they put in their B-side.
Yep.
Because we're playing Plymouth, big deal, just whatever.
Yeah.
And they lost 1-0.
Okay.
Yep. To a team that was at
Good luck to Plymouth. They deserved it. Suck shit, Liverpool.
And Leeds copped it as
They
well.
underestimated them, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's the beauty about, again,
But that's the whole point of FA Cup.
isn't it great? And just touching on that, when you have promotion, relegation, or incentives.
I thought they had that here. Can't teams get relegated?
No.
No.
No,
In Victoria, right, we have NPL 1, NPL 2. Yes, there is that. But as far as our national comp,
the national
there's
comp is-
only, it's like AFL.
Yep.
There's no...
So the only way to get in or out is to buy a franchise.
It's a fixed product. Just like NFL, just like AFL, just like whatever. That's what we're talking about.
There is a thing called the B League.
But that's still...
There are 8 teams.
Maybe.
There are heads of agreement. They've got a memorandum of understanding that it's going to happen, and there are 8 teams across, like the old NSL was. Mm-hmm. If you can put your head around that.
Yeah, but that's still a will it, won't it? Still don't know.
And that's why the round ball here is just shit, in my mind anyway. And it's.
Well, it's like the NBA becoming unwatchable, man. Have you tried watching the NBA? I can't do it.
I get into it sometimes, then I don't.
Yeah.
I fell out of it.
My boys watch it a lot. I
don't mind.
I don't.
But yeah.
No, the competition is dead, man. Now they're just protected.
Is it because I've seen there's a lot more elevated scoring?
Yeah, but there's no more intensity 1-for-1. There's no rivalries. Rivalries can't be created now because players are traded within 12 months.
Well, you saw what happened with that.
But that happens in a lot of. Yeah, but that happens in a lot of
it's
sports
getting worse,
now.
and that's my point. Long-standing rivalries aren't built. The intensity is gone. There's load management, so players are playing a quarter of the games they were playing back in the day.
Yeah, but what you just said,
got a point.
that is exactly in a different way what happened with Liverpool. And I don't want to use it as an excuse.
Yeah,
100%,
no, it's true. No,
but
seriously.
that's exactly what they do.
True.
They only had about 3 or 4 starters, and those starters were actually comebacks from injury and stuff anyway, who needed game time. Anyone who was like part of the actual league, I don't think you had one player.
No. Leeds. I don't think they had
keeper, backup, right back, everything was, and I've got nothing against that, but you do that at your own peril. You know what I mean?
But yeah, it's
but the same thing happens, like you just said, in the NBA. They go, "Oh, we're playing this. We'll take out half the squad. We'll do this. We'll do that." Yeah, look. On the one hand, when you're playing with so much money of product, and you're playing a lot of games, and you got to manage it all, and you're under a lot of pressure. Yeah, you got to do a lot of that.
Yeah,
but to what point?
To the detriment of your
to
product.
To what point? That's what I'm getting at. Yeah,
the detriment of your product.
Yeah.
Have you watched the WNBA? Have you ever watched the WNBA? I'm like,
no.
Fuck, I'm going to send you some links, man. I see the highlight reels come up on my Insta feed. I die. The quality of
really
the level is just it's just appalling, man. They're gassing up these players.
When did that open up?
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
The league has been consistently losing money. The NBA supplements it like the run. Then you get these players coming out saying we should be getting paid the same as men. And you're looking at the final product. It's like, mate, any one of us could walk onto one of these teams and dominate.
I don't want to turn it into a man versus
It's not a man versus thing, man, but it's a quality of the competition.
But that overlaps into other sports as well. That's been a long-standing issue in tennis. They talk about
golf, tennis.
But in tennis especially, how they've always been, we deserve the same standing there, and then a lot of go.
They want parity.
That goes out. A lot of men play 5 hours.
Not with wrestling. Women wrestling is actually
wrestling is not a sport.
We've had that argument
got-
before.
we've
though.
been-
We're
Here
not going
again.
there again.
Wrestling is dinner theatre, man. It's not a sport.
We're not going there again.
Continue.
It's either that or you're going to cop an ashtray on the head.
You're a mother.
You know what the irony is I send him like wrestling links every 2 days. There'll be something I'm sending
It doesn't mean you don't have to like it.
Style and profile.
Yeah, dude.
Did you hear about his energy drink?
We're surrounded
Did
by
you
that.
hear about his energy drink he's bringing out?
No.
Guess what it's called? Woo! Woo! It is! It's woo!
Yeah, no one said you don't have to like it, everything. It's about
called
what
woo.
is it? What is it?
Okay, listen, wrestling, we've been there, all right? It's scripted. I'm not saying it's not physical,
It's entertainment.
but it's not competition in the sense
It's
of there's a winner and
exactly
loser.
right.
Whatever. How about if you play it as an arcade game?
Oh,
Anyway, all right,
anyway.
whatever, man. I don't give a fuck.
it is.
I was going to say, I can light another fuse about your mate Trump.
Oh, here we go.
Put that in the middle. Put that in the middle. No.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
He's officially
officially
removed
done.
women from transgender women from sports and prisons.
No, from men's sports.
Yeah, men's.
Yeah.
No. He's removed transgender women from women's sports, so they can't
That's
play
right. Sorry,
against
yes.
women.
Sorry, that's what I
And
meant,
he's
yeah.
removed them from prisons as well,
What do you mean from prisons?
as in transgender women going into prisons for women. There were heaps of,
Yes.
Gotcha.
yeah, there were heaps of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There were cases of women getting like raped and beaten, like in prison, by transgender women. It's so fucked.
The whole country's fucked.
Well, what do you do? Okay, take that.
I agree with Andy. What Andy just said.
I agree.
It is. It's a mess.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolute mess. And you know, we could take snippets out of it, but it's just.
Well, okay, take that transgender women in women's sports thing. Do you think it was right that he's removed them officially, or they should be allowed to compete? No one's getting cancelled. Relax. We've touched on this before in other episodes with other people.
Without getting into leptomedias,
We're doing well now. Leptomedias. Paqueto.
I agree with that.
I was going to say toparajésane. That's
Oh,
the best
I
one.
agree with
Yeah,
that.
man.
Isn't it?
Unless
the point is,
that
doesn't mean that you agree with
you create a transgender league.
Yes.
Of
Yes.
sport.
That's like for like.
That goes against the whole philosophy of equality of opportunity. Like, they're the same, they belong,
But that
but they're not.
Was
on
it-
technical
they're
terms.
biologically
No,
not.
that was
Y,
different,
XY
man.
chromosomes, yes. I
Haven't
agree.
we had this conversation? Was it in the Olympic Games? Was it in the boxing or something? That's
Yeah, there was a woman
There,
that had,
destroyed.
belted this living suitcase out of another.
No, different thing, but I liken it more to, you know how you got clean sport, especially in
like
Olympics,
darts and stuff.
versus drugs.
Oh, as in
Do you know
like,
what I mean?
Yeah, like weightlifting or
Because
whatever.
wasn't there someone who's floating the idea of just unban
Yeah, let them take
drugs
all
and
the, let
just
them take
make
all the
it whatever?
roids. Yeah, let them take all the roids they want.
But the same thing happened in bodybuilding, for example. You know, there was no, I don't do drugs. But then obviously,
But there is a
others do.
non-drugs and
But this is my
there's
point.
a non-drugs league, and then there's we don't talk about league.
Yeah, but this is my point that you want to have clean sport. The Olympics always has been and should be, clean sport. Keep it that way. And if you want to do the other one where they have their own sanctioned sport where you can take drugs as much as you want, whatever, that, do it as a different competition. But you know what I mean? They don't mix. That's the whole point.
Well, that's what that's what bodybuilding does right now.
Yeah,
There's a
but
clean
this is
one,
my-
and there's
but this is my
we don't-
point. Yeah.
no,
We don't
take-
ask.
We don't ask league. So
Do you think that if you're on, like, say, steroids and you lift, 20 kilos more than the previous record, does it make it less, what's it called, relevant? Because you're on,
It makes
say,
it different. And how can
Well,
it not?
Look at Ben Johnson.
How can it not, man?
Look
No,
at
no,
Ben-
I'm asking. I'm not.
No, but that's what I'm
They
saying.
just stand
I'm-
up. Look, what the
My
fuck?
answer,
Yeah, look, I
my answer is how could it not? That's what I'm saying.
There's always an asterisk
Because
next
there's
to it.
natural, which everyone is on the same page. You know what I mean?
Remember the Chinese
But
swimmers?
It's up
Oh,
to you how much you
yeah, the
train.
women with the backs,
whatever
they're
you do.
like freaking
and then
white,
if you're
yeah.
taking drugs,
Flojo.
then that's stepping over the line. That's
Johnson.
different.
There's a question, actually.
That's all Rocky 3 and Drago, man.
No, it's 4.
Sorry, Rocky 4, yes.
Yeah, he's over there too.
There he is.
I was going to say, Oscar Pistorius, yeah?
Yes.
He was a handicapped athlete, like with the blades, that competed against able-bodied athletes, isn't he?
Mm.
Is that seen as an advantage or not?
That, to me, that's borderline novelty. Because...
Where did he finish in those competitions?
Because those things he had on, they are literally enhancing.
They are, aren't they?
Yep.
You might as well put fucking bionic legs on, man.
Or springs or something.
Yeah, that's
Literally
my
what
point.
they are. They work curved.
You see the curve.
You get longer
natural athletes, all right? Let's go into...
What the fuck are we going to get attacked here, man? I got 3 people.
No, I'm just trying to say.
Go back
in
in your
Olympics,
hole.
right? We're talking Olympics. So in Olympics, you go into a particular sport, and that sport has certain equipment, whether it's track shoes, whether it's a hockey stick,
Gloves,
whether it's gloves, or whether it's a pole for the pole vault. There's certain ones that have equipment, right? All of those.
The love glove.
All of those.
They're regulated, yeah.
All of those are regulated, right? Your equipment can only be certain size, certain materials, certain this, certain that.
Yeah, they test
Why?
the boxing gloves.
Because
they
they're
check
trying
literally.
to eliminate the edge
an unfair
and
advantage,
make it about you. So, keeping that in mind, that's exactly what Pistorius's, artificial
blades,
legs were. Because they weren't just limbs. They literally had fucking engineered bounce and
Did you see the
rebound and
bounce?
everything. How does that not give you an advantage?
If you have a look, if you go back onto the videos, if you see the elevation that he gets, the spring he gets off the blade,
there we go,
far exceeds anything that.
And if you didn't regulate stuff like that, suddenly you'd have pole vaulters. It wouldn't be just the standard pole. They'd have fucking spring assisted launch
pole dance
thing to fucking. Or a long jumper. They'd have their shoes so it gives them extra bounce.
Pole dance.
You'd like a bit
But it's all about regulating the equipment.
You'd love a bit of a pole dance, would you?
And what was it? Santorini Blue?
Dude, here comes Tatiana Moskova from Latvia. And all of a sudden you hear Britney Spears, Give Me More, just bang out. Girls. Okay, wait a second. So hang on. With Pistorius...
So the gist of it is, whether it's enhanced drugs, whether it's enhanced equipment, it's about, are we talking about natural athletes? Because don't forget, if we go back to the actual spirit of the Olympics, the Greeks that started it, they used to train and compete naked.
Yeah, to not allow women.
Because it was literally man versus man. You know what I mean? Like no equipment, no nothing. Versus
there was never equipment then, but
but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But their diets were monitored. Like everything was Spartan,
it was just literally the honor of man versus man, right? Versus now we're trying to do that, but regulate the equipment so that he doesn't get an advantage over you.
Yeah, of course.
Because otherwise, if he wins, but he had fucking more rebound ace in his fucking shoes or something, it'll be clouded victory. You'll be unhappy. You'll be,
They said that about Thorpe when he came out. That remember his wetsuit that he had, and then Freeman had the running thing.
Any little inch. Don't they start going, it's not fair what he's doing, whatever? Because that's the whole point. They're trying to be even keel.
Take Freeman's
look at Australia. Look at Australia when they won the America's Cup with that wing keel. Same again.
Yeah, okay.
And the whole point is, did you do what you did within the rules
at the time?
At the time. That's it.
You got to play what?
If they didn't,
if they changed the hymn book afterwards, that's fine. But within there, Alan Bond and all them at that point in time had a distinct advantage with this wing keel. And did something and broke the longest sporting domination.
Yeah, it was
that would be similar to what you just talked about before about the swimming kit.
Yeah.
Was it within the rules? If it was, fine. Was it a bit smarter than what the other guy was doing? Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I remember
everyone's always going to try and get that little inch better. But there's one thing to be within the rules and, that was a smart thing you just did, versus others who go way over, like beyond.
Well, sports science is one of the biggest industries in the world now.
Oh, my God.
They're treated like greyhounds, like regimented diets, supplements.
Mate,
the human body's never been pushed to conditioning the way like we've got it now.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. The amount, the attention to detail is incredible.
Yeah.
It's to this millisecond. You're going to go for a slash at this time. That's it. I mean, seriously.
A slash. Toilet breaks monitored, man. Guys are fucked. I'm just saying.
That's what it is.
Everything's big money now too. That's why it
exactly.
all.
And we're talking megas.
Actually, what was I going to say? Fuck. This is what I was going. I thought about this because of the fucking plane thing the other day.
What, talk about today or yesterday?
No, this was last week.
That was the day before.
No, I read this. I haven't discussed it with anyone. I was going to ask for your opinions.
Oh, what?
That woman on the plane in Brazil. That
woman on the plane in Brazil.
Yeah. So she was a passenger, had like the window seat.
Yeah.
And the woman that came on asked her to give up her seat for the screaming toddler, and she refused to do so.
Yeah.
And in the end, she ended up suing the airline for distress or whatever because she got forcibly asked to move aside and she wouldn't. So she's suing the airline for harassment and I don't know what else.
Who was telling her to move?
The woman with the toddler
customer.
asked
another passenger.
Maybe my child wants your seat. Can we switch? Can you move
what
somewhere else?
What did the airline do? Did they intervene?
Maybe did that?
Nah.
Did the
I think they left it alone.
Say,
hang on.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
If the airline didn't do anything, why is she suing the airline?
Unless she used the hostess as a messenger.
Yeah. So a Brazilian flyer who was publicly shamed for refusing to switch seats with a crying toddler is now considering suing the toddler's mum.
His mum.
See?
There we go. Toddler's mum. Not the airline.
Not the airline. That's why I asked who did what.
So she went viral, online, obviously, for refusing to give up her seat.
Yeah.
And a passenger filmed her during the whole thing. A Brazilian bank worker refused to swap seats with a crying toddler on a flight and is now suing the airline and the passenger who filmed her. The child reportedly had a window seat in another row but insisted on sitting in Ms. Castro's spot and began throwing a fit.
Yeah.
After she declined, a boarding passenger whipped out her phone, began recording the exchange, berating the woman, and says, why doesn't she want to change seats? Blah, blah, blah,
smacked her.
It says, I even asked if she has some kind of syndrome or something. If someone has a problem, some disability, we get it. I'm recording your face. It's 21st century. People have no empathy for children, blah, 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 blah.
I would have drilled her.
In what? Who?
No.
Or the bitch mum.
Yeah. 100%. Well, why am I going to move for your kid?
What?
I've heard a lot of these, especially ones.
It was the kid.
How you a lot of times now you actually pay. It depends on the airline, but you actually pay for the privilege to have a particular seat.
Yeah,
yes, you do.
No,
right? So you book it early.
Most of them
you
do.
pay for it, and then you have arrogant, entitled people like her who go, "Oh, my kid wants to sit there. Can you move?"
Mm.
Who the F are you to tell me to move from the seat that I bought?
She was on a podcast. She was on a podcast being interviewed about it, and she said, what I went through wasn't easy. The flight attendants could have asked me if I needed anything or if I was bothered by the passenger, but they didn't. They stayed out of it.
Okay, that's probably why she's thinking, you should have assisted me.
Mm. Okay, so this is what happened.
They're not counsellors.
Yeah, but the customer service
Yeah, but their
reps.
job is to ensure
service,
that... Yeah, they should have intervened there.
This is what actually happened.
Their job is... Hang on.
Hang on. Let me tell you what happened, man.
If you do something on a plane...
He's got a vendetta for George, man.
I know, man.
No, but if you do something on a plane, even look at someone sideways, they're first to say, calm down, sir, or I'm going to get the feds to take you off the plane.
Yeah, true.
So they can't just sit there and go pick and choose when to intervene and when not to intervene.
So this is what actually happened.
That's what I mean.
When I got on the plane, the child was in my seat. I said, this is my seat, and waited for him to leave.
Yeah.
A guy across the aisle said, change with him. You sit next to the aisle and you'll have your place. And I said, no. The boy cried the entire flight. It was around 50 minutes. The mother was very rude. Blah, 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 blah. The airline basically didn't do shit. They just let it.
Customer service.
That's her problem with them.
Customer service.
They didn't help.
Spot on.
Yeah.
What would you have said? Get the fuck out of here.
No,
What about?
I've seen a few consistent where they do that, and especially where people go, I paid for that seat. Not just it's a seat like everybody else's.
Allocated to you.
I paid extra
Even if
for
hang
that
on,
seat.
hey, Andrew, even if you didn't pay for
it's allocated to you. Fair enough.
You jumped in first. You got that seat.
No,
That's yours.
I 100% agree with you. But a lot of these even pay more for that seat.
So why you pre-booking your seat?
Yeah,
exactly.
But if it, on a
It's
lighthearted note,
it's the damage to shame
imagine
people.
if you were sitting next to Stifler's mum. You're sitting there.
All right.
But you know what it is? It's the social media that's what's fucking this like whole scenario because and this is happening more and more and it's going to get worse and worse because every time that something goes wrong or they people are looking for issues.
Yeah.
There's a fucking fly in my coffee. Bang. Let's shame them. Like give them a chance to say, you know what? We fucked up. We didn't know there was a fly there. Whatever the case may be, but they smash them and then they get fucking viral and then they get destroyed. That's the biggest fucking problem.
Yeah, I agree a lot with
this
that
guy
too.
talk, man.
Let me
finish my story.
Fuck your story.
With the phones, I mean, we grew up in an era of total discrimination.
Yeah.
Total. Okay? Because we were first, we were kids of migrants. The racism and the discrimination is real. It's across the board. But imagine if you had those back then. Oh my God!
I think when I remember.
You agree, Eddie? What you had to go through?
You're forgetting there. I'm a product of first generation Greek
You are
Australians.
too.
Yeah, my parents came from. My dad came on a boat, right?
Both mine too.
Anytime someone has said to me, "Oh, you wouldn't fucking have to deal with racism," blah 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 blah. I'm like, hang on, man, why? Because I'm not black or Asian or gay. Like, I remember specifically, and this has sat with me because now when I go up Hoddle Street, I pass this spot. Yeah, regularly because I live around the corner. And I specifically remember being about 18, 19. So I was young. I still looked young. I hadn't, put on 80 kegs yet. And I remember we were sitting on the corner of Hoddle Street and where Bridge Road is, yeah? But not the Bridge Road side, like the other side going towards the city, but the top end. So as you've crossed over, we're up in that corner.
On the MCG side.
Yeah, right? So we're at the top end and we were just waiting for a cab to become available, basically. Like, it was me and my northern suburb mates, my cousin. It must have been, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever. We're just sitting there. And I remember, I'm sitting there talking to a mate and we were all Greeks. Everyone there was Greek. Right? There was about 5 of us. And I still remember this car pulls up and these bogan-looking dudes in the cab. They were in the full cab. The guys in the rear seat started talking to us, like, how's your night been, whatever. And they weren't old, man. They might have been a bit older than us. Or, maybe they're under 30, like easily under 30, 25 tops. They were talking to us. And we're like, oh, yeah, just whatever, friendly. And as they pulled away, they started yelling all this wog shit at us. And I stood there and I'm like, why did they do that? Like, I remember turning.
Maybe because they've got a boombox playing, oh, I thought.
You're a malaka. I remember turning.
Doing the Pacific.
Dude, malaka, there was nothing overtly Greek about us, man. We were just young kids sitting there in our fucking
Are you sure you weren't wearing a Hellas jumper or something?
No, I wasn't wearing a fucking Hellas jumper.
That was him.
Anyway, my point is I remember I turned to my mate who was sitting there and I go, man, what the fuck was that? Like, what did we do to, warrant that?
That was the lot.
And he looked at me and he said, you notice that they said all that shit as they drove away, right? I went, yeah. He goes, exactly. You think they'd be fucking saying that shit if they were just standing here next to us or that car got caught in traffic?
We're not the only ones.
Changed.
It was our generation, then it was when Asians started migrating.
Yeah.
Now, we've had the Indian migration, we've had the Muslim migration. We are the most multicultural country in the world, I think. Is that right, Andy? Are we the most?
Tell me.
Could be.
I think we are, or close to it, which means that we're always going to be prone to this sort of behaviour.
Tell me you saw the Sam Kerr shit.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I saw some of it.
God.
Did you see my post? I was dying. I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop. When I actually looked at it, at the crux of what actually happened, did you see it?
No, I haven't
So
seen
Sam Kerr's Sam Kerr's like the former captain of the Australian women's soccer team, yeah?
Oh, didn't she? That's the one who got locked up and started slandering the cop. Yeah.
So what happened was, right? she's in the back of an Uber, yeah. And for whatever reason, they made it. I think Mrs. threw up. Her fiance threw up on the floor or something, or a wife.
Or something.
I can't remember. One of them threw up, made a mess, and then apparently they smashed the window as well.
No, they said no. It was just threw up, and I think the cabbie asked for the cleaning bill to be paid.
And said, "You guys have to handle this. This is fucked." Then they fucked up a window. Or did more damage to the cab, And
I think they were making out like they were feeling threatened.
So what
whatever.
happened was, I read into it. So what happened was, right, he's called the cops. She's abusing him. Like, they're both abusive. They're both drunk or whatever. They're abusing the fuck out of him. He's called the cops. The cops have said, just bring him straight to the cop shop, yeah? Like, you're having an incident, come straight to the cop shop. So they go to the cop shop. They get out. They're in, like, the interrogation room or whatever. Sam Kerr's going nuts, saying that we were fucking kidnapped. We were held against our will. It's like, no, they called the cops. We told them to come here. Like, what do you mean? She's abusing everyone. And then she said, on a racist kick that, like, there was discrimination. Then she called the arresting officer stupid and white, and then, like, made all these other derogatory comments, yeah? And I looked at it. I'm like, who the fuck? I never actually looked about, like, Sam Kerr. Like, I never looked her up. And I looked her up, and she's, like, 3/4 English-Irish. Her father's, like, half Indian. And she's got the balls to say that someone's being racist.
Yeah.
And this guy's stupid and white. It's like, what? You're 3/4 white, man. We're more wogs than she is. But this is the face of Australian soccer.
Chick, yeah.
They
It's
made
ridiculous, man.
They made her like this because she's gay and because she's this and she ticks all the boxes. They made her the poster child of Australian sport, dude. This is the person.
Yep.
It's like, are you for real, man?
Yep.
Are you actually serious?
Yeah, no, it's gone too far, man, with all this bullshit. And
What should happen to her? What should happen to her?
Well, the cops there are going to work it out.
I'm talking about her place in Australian media. What should happen to her? Because she's the highest Australian athlete, man. Paid.
Yeah, but that's got nothing to do with media.
No,
she has to
as far as it being a public figure, considering. No,
it's true, man.
Okay, look.
Hang on. Wait. Hang on, all right? Because I've brought this up many times over the last few years, yeah? Nick Kyrgios, every time he has a hissy fit or he has a meltdown, whatever it is, papers will come out. They will come out and say shit like he should be deported, he should be this, he should be that.
They rip him a new one.
I'm not disagreeing with you, man.
The original, not the original podcast theme, but the one prior, right? With the snippets before it got updated. I had a snippet of that fucking moron troglodyte from one of the Today shows, the whitest woman in the world, saying that he's a spoiled Greek brat who should
Terry
be
Ann Kennel.
Nah, some other dickhead. Saying that he was a spoiled Greek brat and he's probably getting treated like a prince and blah, blah, blah. It's like, how do you have the balls to get away with saying this shit on live TV, man? How do you have the balls to get away with this? Yeah? Why? Because we're just picking on wogs. It doesn't matter. But Sam Kerr, the quarter Indian, by the way, she's quarter Indian. Indians represent like 15% of the planet, man. Hardly a minority. If you want to like talk brass tacks about shit. And I'm not splitting hairs. I'm just making a point. She's representative of the minority?
Now you were talking about outcomes and whatever.
Yeah.
What I was trying to say is Korea, she plays in England. She's no longer Australian captain. The only thing she has that's Australian is whether she gets picked to play.
Yeah, but she gets made an ambassador of all these Australian causes.
No, but that's it. That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, should she be blacklisted like so many other athletes so many other celebrities have?
The whole issue here is Sam Kerr has been the face of women's football, right? She is, you're right. She is the ambassador. She goes on, she's
a public figure. She's a public figure. She gets paid to turn up to shit just to turn up.
She certainly endorses a lot of things. I get that. And her behaviour? Subpar.
To say the least.
So I agree with you. That's what I was saying.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
is she going to feel the wrath of the media the way we've got tall poppy syndrome here?
It's up to whoever used to hire her, I want you to come promote this or do whatever. That's up to them now, whether they're going to give her those opportunities.
She's definitely out of line.
You know what I'm saying?
I reckon she'll lose
That's
a
what
lot
it'll come to.
Definitely out of line.
She'll lose a lot
Simple
of sponsorships.
Same thing happened to people like.
I'm sure she has lost a lot of sponsorships.
But the only
in
thing
cricket,
here,
the sandpaper gate issue.
Yeah, 100%.
Same thing happened there.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith. He was what you're calling Sam Kerr, as far as face of football.
Yeah.
He was Mr. Goody Two Shoes, best cricketer in the world with merit, etc. And then that shit happened. Whether he intended to be involved or not is not the point anymore. But he got tarnished for it.
Correct.
That's
and in those sort of environments, ignorance is no excuse.
I hate the fact that I feel
double standards.
She's gonna get a slap on the wrist at best,
Yeah.
and she'll be literally.
I don't know. We'll see.
They'll be pushing her fucking commercials like nothing ever happened.
I hope not, because the other thing as well, was what I was going to say, Dim, where it's gotten cloudy here has been the policeman that changed his tune as well, that changed his statement.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he changed it. Yeah, a couple of times.
So I was conflicted.
Yeah, so it's obviously, it probably became a bit opportunistic after they've realised who she was.
Okay.
So that it clouds it. Not that I condone what she did, but it does cloud this whole scenario.
I just hate it that it's not like front page paper everywhere you turn, because
if it was someone that the mainstream media don't like, you're right, and Nick is one of those boys that really has copped the wrath of media. Taken though that Nick hasn't been afraid to express his views.
Oh no, he flies off the handle.
Whether or not they are,
He's not the only one, though.
Yeah, but whether or not they are deemed appropriate is a point of congestion.
Yeah.
However, if you're going to be treating sport icons, and let's be honest here, Sam Kerr has done a lot for the face of women's football in Australia, no doubt about it. Okay, but
okay.
I know what you're saying.
No, you don't. We did a whole episode on this last year during the World Cup, or was it the year before that? The Women's World Cup
in 22.
Yeah, we watched the top 10 plays of the first week. 9 out of 10 plays were all goals off skill errors.
Yeah, look.
No. There's no look.
That's a difference.
Hang on. There's no fucking look. I was at the footy watching like a semi-final or something. It was like Carlton versus Melbourne or one of those games, and it clashed with it was Carlton-Melbourne actually.
Yeah, and it coincided.
And it coincided with the women's final.
And they moved it.
And people were watching half of it like in the thing. Dude, you're watching one of the greatest games.
Yeah.
One of the greatest games I've ever seen in my life, right? Elite football. Honestly, to God, like it was so tense, so tight. It was such a good game. And people are stopping to watch the women's soccer. You're watching women's soccer. It's like, man, I did these moves on Stammer in my backyard back in 1994, man. Are you for real? Are you actually serious?
I saw him on Sunday, by the way.
Yeah,
no,
good.
Saturday.
He's a good kid.
Stammer.
Saturday.
Yeah. Stamatio, you talking about?
I grew up with him. He was my next door neighbour. Yeah.
We saw him on Saturday.
Yeah, it was Saturday.
He is the George Best of like the Melbourne soccer.
He's the rubber man. I call him the rubber man.
Why?
Because he never breaks down.
Yeah.
Just feed him VBs.
VB. That's
Stammer. I think you came drinking with me and Stammer once back in the Temperance days.
No shit.
Yeah, my old next door neighbour.
Talking about last Saturday, someone was copping a reaming before he got there.
Why?
I said to these guys to come to the Butler, and I came late.
Yeah.
Standard again.
I came late. These guys, as soon as I've rocked up, have a look what the wind brought in. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, what the cat dragged in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Are your ears burning? I said, by the way, they probably are because we've just sepatosied you.
The way you like it.
Hello, malakas.
Anyway.
But you're right. Look, it is, and look, Australian sport in general has been a giant contradiction. It has been. If you're savvy with the media and they like you, it doesn't matter what you do; they will always love you, right? But if you're a bit opinionated, if you're a bit not non-compliant in terms of what the landscape of Australia wants you. They'll
Can I ask?
Put you on the scrap heap.
Hang on, man. You guys are probably the right guys to ask here, right? I remember Aussies being brash, blunt, didn't give a fuck about we were very dry, sarcastic, to the point. All this shit. How did we become so sterile with our public figures?
The pendulums. It is just a sign of the time.
Because I saw
this has had a lot to do with it. Internet's had a lot to do with it. It's a lot more exposure. You're a lot more exposed. You know, people can't even go out for a drink. You see now, sport identities, they can't go out for a drink.
Oh, yeah, no.
They can't.
I remember
Because-
running into footy players at Heat.
Yeah, but you can't because as soon as something happens, and if they say something, I think it was just recently. I think one of the West Coast players was within the vicinity of a scuffle.
Yeah,
and they were ripping him apart, and he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
talking about
there's a lot more
talking about going out for pubs and cost of living and all that kind of stuff. Man, here's a topic. Fucking the cost of a pint these days.
Oh.
What's a pint
and the cost of a coffee these days. And that's the topic that we've been having the last few times.
What's a pint worth? I got no idea.
Standard is about $15.
Get fucked.
15 to $20 now. Yep. That's a standard.
15?
$15 is probably at a reasonable cost right now.
I went to a pub and I got 4 schooners. Was it 4 schooners? I think
the smaller ones.
No, the big ones.
Schooners are bigger than. Hang on.
No,
schooners are bigger than pots.
You got pots.
Pints are bigger than schooners.
Schooners,
pots, schooners, pints. Yes,
pints. The biggest one.
Yeah.
4 pints off the tap.
Yeah.
$60.
There we go.
Are you joking?
Which brand?
Yeah, so that'd be
Standard?
15 each.
Draft.
Do you know what
Draft,
I remember? The RSL behind my house that I grew up in next to Stammer, Fridays between 3 and 6, $3 pot, $2 pots, $3 pints.
Gone.
Yeah, what year was that?
I'll tell you now. 2000. I was working at the events mob, so like 2005, 6, so 20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Yeah, but has our wages gone up that much?
Yeah, remember what we were talking about with back in the day?
Yeah. Nah, sorry.
But even
I don't like it either, but unfortunately,
they're talking about people even saying these days because of cost of living and so forth. So we were talking about pints one day, yeah. We're talking about coffees one day, saying that it should be around $7 to $8 now for a medium.
A large coffee's going to get to $7 and $8.
$10 to $12 for a large. They're saying
I pay $5 for my coffee, man.
No, where it's going to go, they're saying. Where it's going to go.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
When I buy coffees every day.
Get used to a standard $50 meal.
Yeah. We talked. I brought that up a while back. Yeah, $50 or $60
meal is a standard. No more $20 Palmers. Get that out of your head. $35 would be probably your discounted price. $50.
Like you've got a Mercedes card.
I was about to say I'm not far off from graduating to that.
But
So
like, I mean, no,
I'll take advantage of my
here's
card.
the thing, man. hang on. Like, I mean, it's just absolutely fucking ridiculous, man. Like, you can't even go out to have a fucking drink and not fucking lose $104.
Like I said, that links back to a conversation we had a while ago, which was exactly that. You know, I remember. Granted, it was further back, but the concept is the same.
No. It's not the same. It's not the same. I'm not talking about.
It's about relative.
40 years ago. I'm not talking about 40 years ago and now. I'm not doing that comparison because we already done that. You showed me the list and all that.
Yeah, I know.
$2 drinks and bullshit. No, I'm not talking about that. We're talking about in a space of 5 years, pre-COVID to post-COVID. They're saying that it's dramatically changed so much that it doesn't make sense for that. I'm talking about 40 years, man. I'm talking about 5. You know what I mean?
That's a very good point. Even 20 years ago. We're not talking about 40 years ago. We're talking about 20 years ago.
It's the cost have like, man, and this is why cost of like, building and all that. All these builders have gone fucking bust because of that reason. Everything just fucking just went haywire in the costing. And man, who can afford, if you have a family of four like say 2 kids and what, $200, $200 to go out for a meal, not drinks.
Yeah, it's
you know
true.
what I mean? A glass of wine each. Oh, yeah, no problems, mate. $10 on that.
What?
Where are you going, man?
Where are you going? $10?
Oh, I don't know how much.
12,
No,
$13, $14?
Glasses of wine are like, $18, man.
But here we go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Soft drinks, $5. Like, where's this going?
You know
man?
what? The soft drinks is a kick in the pants. It's just post-mix shit with soda
It's
water.
watered down.
I'll give you an
can
example.
is 50 cents.
Over Christmas, we had Christmas and New Year at home. So you go to Costco like you normally do, and you go and get whatever they've got, what stocks they've got of the day.
Yeah.
And they had Heinekens going for $45 a slab.
Yeah.
2 days prior was the four beers for $60 I'd paid. I'm thinking,
But it's not, people don't want to go out. This is why I was walking through the city after a gig last Friday at 1 o'clock or 1:30 in the morning, literally walked from Richmond to St Kilda Road near your house.
you
And
see
I
anyone.
probably saw 6 people.
Whereas back in the back,
Friday night, Friday
Whereas
night.
back in the day, you remember,
No one
Andy,
can
you
afford-
remember this. If you were to walk down King Street on a Friday night, King Street, on a Friday night, you could not move.
Yeah.
Actually, that's true. I've been out the
I
last.
come from, guess where? The Corner Hotel.
Oh,
I
yeah.
walked from the corner
That's the
to
old
St Kilda Road. I saw a number of just 6 people. That's
So the
all I
Corner
saw.
Hotel is the old Lazars, is that right?
No,
man.
no.
Corner Hotel is in Richmond.
Oh,
under the
sorry,
bridge.
I had-
the bridge,
sorry,
just
yeah,
at the
wrong
bridge. Actually, that's
Oh, that
ridiculous.
one. Oh, the one under the
ridiculous.
bridge. Yeah.
I've
Just across the road from the precinct.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I've been out the last month.
The precinct at 12:30 closed.
Really?
Friday night. The precinct hotel. 12:30 and there was no one in there. It was closed.
I've been out the last month. I've done a few things on like weekends, and I'll be walking home from like the CBD city to my joint, and there'd be fuck all people.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be late. Like we're talking like 1, 12:30.
Where's this going to go? Where's this fucking going to
People
go?
can't afford to.
And this is Melbourne. They're like
The world's most livable city.
where we can actually go out for a drink and enjoy it. And like, there's so many different bars, so many different restaurants, so many different, fusions of food and all this bullshit.
They're
Come on, man.
They're waiting for Cafe Greco to open.
Did that not open today? I think
No,
it
I
opened.
don't think it's
I
today.
got it
think
on his
it opened
diary.
today.
He's
I
got
think
it in his
opened today.
diary.
He got a special invite,
I know,
dignitary.
man.
Is it today or was it later in the week? I heard. Anyway,
Anyway,
it was this week sometime.
So it's
then.
another
Should
cafe
go,
in
man.
Oakley, man.
But Cafe
Yeah,
Greco's.
but it's back in the day.
Yeah, I lived
that
at
was-
Cafe Greco's, man.
Yeah, but it's the same one.
Yeah, but
When I say same one, they literally take
Same
pride
boys.
in saying
the same boys.
we were back then
Zambelis boys.
and we're bringing it
Same
back
crew.
to.
Okay.
They're resurrecting it. In other words, that's what their whole thing is.
Yeah, all right.
Well, whether it works or not, that's up
Yeah,
to
but
them.
what-
Like,
what was
man,
it?
they really need to work
Hang
on
on.
their nightlife there, man.
Hang
they
on, man.
need a good nightlife.
Hang on, wait.
Where?
Like
In
at
the mall?
Oakley.
Look,
Well, there's Risk Bar there.
yeah, but it's not being promoted, man.
Wait a second.
1
Wait,
o'clock.
wait. Hang on. Greco's, as far as I remember it, yeah, I was going there from about 15 years old till about, shut when I was like 22 or something. It wasn't,
Whatever, yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like 6-7 years. It was like its peak. It was just a cafe restaurant that had a bar. It wasn't a club. It didn't
no,
serve.
no one said it was a
But
club.
that's what I'm saying. Oakley's full of those fucking joints.
Yeah, but you got to remember, a lot of people used to use it as a. We touched on some places where we'd go out clubbing.
Yeah,
And then we'd go there and spend late hours there.
Margo, I used to be there
It was
once, twice a
always
week.
Yeah, but that was the whole
Yeah.
thing. Why it
Hollywood
was a
Palace.
bit different. Yes,
Yeah.
that's why it was a bit different to just a cafe.
I know,
whatever.
but in today's
A lot of
landscape...
people enjoyed going there.
Yeah, but it's not going to. They're going to have like
Can you
entertainment.
believe that Airstream's still there?
Yeah, but the difference is they're also built. I think it's upstairs. They've got a function room called the Apollo Room.
They could put a brothel up there. Wouldn't make any difference, man.
Well, the Polo Room has got a good name to it.
Yeah, but it's Oakley, man. It's just another cafe restaurant in Oakley. It's like, ooh,
in between
what's that?
Wickers and vanilla.
Can I get a frappe, Metro? $18, thanks. Thank you for the privilege of
What,
sitting at Greco's.
Did you say milk?
Milk?
$24.
Sugar?
Himalayan.
No, that's the salt.
No, I'm making a point. Like, we're forgetting, this is just another cafe restaurant. They're going to jack up the prices for the privilege of sitting in Greco's like there's a fucking guest list.
But the market there, Dim, is unrelenting. If you charge like a wounded bull, they'll go away.
I hope they do.
No, they.
I don't think. Well,
Do you agree with that, Andy?
Yeah, I agree. It remains to be seen. You could be right.
I hope-
maybe they take that
I
into account.
hope
We'll
they
see.
get ahead of themselves. All right, I hope they get ahead of themselves because it looks like they're punching tickets already, man. I hope they get ahead of themselves and they charge fucking $30 for a souvlaki.
I'm hearing 28 to 35.
Go fuck yourself.
But I'm saying for a
Go fuck yourself.
no, for a standard plate, that's the rate.
Hang on.
in
Are you
there.
thinking?
right.
Are you thinking of a Suv versus
Suv.
a?
Suv.
No. He's talking about
Open
a pound
plate.
All right, 28. Yeah,
I'll
throw
give you some fucking tomates and
Yeah.
lacana.
There's so much
3
competition
pieces of
there.
chicken.
End of the day, come on, man. Like, you look at it, like, get fucked, man. This is Oakley. Like,
So hang on. You have a silver like that, you unwrap it. Oh, yeah, there's another $20 on it.
No,
it's not the same thing.
you're paying for
you
the...
can have it. You can have it with skewers. If you have a full plate, you have a.
You can have
It's
my
a
kid with
different-
skewers.
Pilafy or
Sir,
fucking...
Pilafy.
Yeah, you get.
No,
I mean, what do we do? On the odd occasion, where do we go?
We're not going. Later we'll go a bit to Orexy.
Really nice.
Audix is nice.
Really nice.
Yeah, but that's all we go.
Yeah,
where we
Audix
go.
is
But that's
good.
they're
Not
fairly
exclusively, but we're like, if we've got nowhere to go, we go, oh yeah, we'll just go there.
Yeah, but Audix
because it's no frills.
Audix.
That's the point.
I'll say one thing about
Spot on.
Audix.
But that's what you need.
Hang on, man.
And these
that's
times,
what I
this
said.
is
It's
this is
just
in
no-
this era.
Audix is underspoken. It's underspoken, and it's a humble joint. There's no but yes. You just go there.
yes.
It looks standard. Looks
We're
stock.
going well tonight.
There's no there's no bullshit, and it's just is what it is, and that's it.
I mean, let's go.
Yeah, but already
It's
you're
probably
talking
shut.
about you guys are already hyping up Greco's is opening. Who gives a fuck? They've been shut for 3 decades.
Lunch, coffee, $12.50.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. wait for these.
Like,
wait for Nick
I brought it up
Giannopoulos.
in jest.
Hang on. Wait for Nick Giannopoulos to do a tweet or a fucking Instagram live from there for one day. All of a sudden, frappedes, $18. Metrio, like no sugar, no milk. What do you mean?
Like I said to him, the market there is absolutely
I hope
unrelenting.
so.
Because, yes, competition is good. I agree with competition. However, the market there, if you feel that you've been ripped, they ain't going back.
There's so many. How many Suvla are shut along there, man? Mega Euro's shut.
Mega Euro's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah, but hang on. The couple that shut, I don't think they were much to begin with.
I like Mega Euro. I thought it was all right.
No, I didn't.
Mate.
I didn't rate it.
But they need
Which one was
different
that, Andy?
Greek fucking
What was that?
restaurants there.
It was the
It's
one that
next
came
to-
in later,
It's next to
Mate.
What's the fish joint?
in between Hunky Dory.
Hunky Dory.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I didn't think much of it.
Whatever. Either way, there's a fucking 100 places to buy a Suvo in Oakley, man.
Yeah, but all the ones that we thought were any good, they're still there.
Well, look at it. And we've also been a couple of times to Vanilla recently.
Yeah.
Run of the mill.
But Greeks don't just have fucking Suvos, man. There's so many other things that they can fucking sell, man.
Yeah, but that's what we're saying. Vanilla is not that type of place.
No, vanilla.
They've got a good
You
variety.
don't go to vanilla for a fucking soup.
No, I wouldn't.
You know what I mean? You never do.
No,
Or
yeah,
Big
but
Boss.
that's where you're wrong. They've actually got good plate.
Yes.
They've got good food.
And I always...
I don't think I've
You
ever
know-
eaten a meal that... Oh, I have.
We go
I've
there a
eaten
lot.
spinal cord
We
meal
go
there.
there a lot for
I
their
have had a
food
meal
too. I've never had a
in
bad meal
Oakley,
there.
when you see diverse people from different backgrounds,
Yeah.
they're all in vanilla. The whole they're always in vanilla, and we often sit back and we have this discussion. Say this place is diverse, and you know why? Because it's simple. The menu is simple. The service is good. And
So why don't they run a taverna or something upstairs? They
no,
never
they-
cross their
they
mind.
do
They do functions there. They do
functions.
functions
No,
there.
functions, yes. I understand they do functions, but like actually
Yeah, they
run,
have dabbled in that too.
like,
All right, let me ask you a question.
you know?
Yeah, they have.
I
All right.
didn't know that.
Hang on. This is coming from Greek to Greeks, yeah, in Melbourne. If you wanted Greek food, would you go straight to Oakley, like just to get your standard run-of-the-mill shit? Or would you look for something a bit funkier, a bit left of centre, a bit more upper market in other suburbs? I'm only saying it because I've been on the road a lot more and I'm seeing a lot more shit in Melbourne. I'm finding all these Greek taverns that I've never even seen before.
Yep.
Yeah? I was in Hampton Street the other day and I was walking...
Oh, you went to the new one in Hampton Street in Brighton?
It's called Urchin or something.
Yeah,
but
well-
they've been there for like 14 years.
Yeah.
I was walking back from from Woolies or something, and I've just seen this place, right? And I've looked at as I've walked past, I've doubled back. I go, what the fuck's this joint? And there was a guy outside having a dart and a coffee, so I assumed he was like the owner or whatever. So I just ducked in just to have a look around. I'm like, what is this joint? He comes in. I said, mate, how long you been here? He goes, yeah. He goes, we've been here about 14 years, but we fly under the radar. Because that's what he said. We keep it low key. It was called Urchin. Out from the outside, it just looked like a nice little.
It's nice.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Oh, so you've eaten there before?
There were no like flags and overtly bullshit taverny things.
Or someone doing this?
Yeah, you know what I mean. But it looked nice, and I legit said I asked him about the menu, and he's like, "Oh yeah," he goes, "Standard sort of run of the mill, but we do more lighter stuff. We do a bit of Moroccan chicken just because it's the area. You got to add a bit of diversity, but generally it's very very light, very simple shit." I love those joints during summer.
Yeah.
They're like Tipuradika in Greece. You just go,
100%.
You know what I mean? I was in another one. I went to get a coffee. I was in Hawthorne area. I went to get a coffee, and next to the coffee shop there was like a restaurant. And I'm just sussing out the menu, and they've got all random shit. Like it's Greek, but it's Greek inspired. You know
Was
what
it
I mean?
called Platia?
No, not Platia. I know which one Platia is. No, this is
Isn't there one down that way?
This didn't have a Greek name. It wasn't a Greek name. Fuck, you're thinking. I know.
I'll tell you another good little spot. I don't know if you've been yet, but Nick was in Fairfield.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
nice. Very nice.
They were meant to shut down.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Did you end up going, Eddie? Have you been
No, I
yet?
haven't been yet.
Okay, but that's my question. Would you go? Would you go seek these out?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Is it in your interest to do it?
But you know what the difference is, man?
I would.
Our problem is I'd prefer to try other cultures' foods because every time we eat Greek food and stuff like that, look, yeah, there is slight variance because, mum's from Crete or whatever.
Yeah, my mum's swastika is going to be different to yours.
Correct. But it's the same stuff that I used to eat fucking, 100 times a year.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about when you go to restaurants, man, like, especially ones in Melbourne, a lot of them have been started by Greeks from Greece that are like our age, man, and even younger.
Yep.
Even younger than us. And they're doing them with like modern twists. They're Greek-inspired Mediterranean dishes. Yeah?
Yeah.
But I feel we don't actually do it like, we're talking about cost of living, yeah?
Mm.
If you're going to spend $50 a plate, I can't be going to Oakley to throw it down for a fucking open plate gyro. I'd rather go find one of these funky joints.
A suvo and a fucking frappe, literally.
Yeah. I'd rather go find one of these joints and have something a bit different for an actual experience.
Yeah, but I think you're overselling the cost of.
What do you mean?
It's not $50 a plate.
No, I'm saying if we've got to get used. No, what I'm saying if we've got to get used to $50 a plate.
Yeah, but your theory of what you're saying.
It's not a theory. This is what they're discussing.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Thinking along that theory, right? If Gunner Oakley is going to be $50 a plate, this other place might end up being $70 a plate.
Okay.
Or vice. No.
I'm saying.
But then if you're going to go through rent, then rent at Oakley will probably be higher than the suburban fucking town.
Yeah, but I'm trying to establish we go quite often to Oakley, right? And whether it's Orexy, whether it's vanilla, whether it's whatever, I know there's different things, but it wouldn't be more than $30 for a decent plate of something.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, now.
Every time you go for dinner with a number of people, right?
Yeah.
And, you all put in an X amount. How much do you usually put in? 50, right?
Yeah, but that's different if I have 5 beers or something,
yeah, but
man.
you're not,
I'm talking about...
You're not. But I'm not saying that's where it is now, but it's getting there and you can see it. You know what I mean? So many meals are like a Parma these days. I mean, really, you won't pay under $35 for a decent
Where
Parma.
you go shopping, eh?
What?
Malvern Vale.
Yeah, but you're talking about specials. Or special nights or whatever you call it.
There might be places that charge $35, but there's a lot of places I know that charge $25,
yeah,
$30 at the most.
On a Parma night.
No, not on a Parma night, on a normal night. Some Parma nights, place I know, charge $20.
Yeah, I understand that, but
that's
that is the discussions we're having to talk about suburbia and places that are like Oakley or higher ranking like areas that charge rent. So their rent is so much more than any other suburban areas. A lot of these places, their rent now at Oakley, say for instance, if it was $20,000 a fucking month or whatever it was, now it's probably 40. So they have to obviously has to come from somewhere. You know what I mean? What are you thinking? He's trying to find the menu.
What's he looking up? You look at the menu.
No, mate. If you quote figures or anything like that, you can't beat him. Sorry. We can get into stoushes and everything. When it comes to facts and figures and numbers and all that sort of stuff, forget it. Tablet man's got everything.
He hasn't brought his tablet here today.
I just feel like with the amount of Suvlat Zidika in Oakley, for example...
Hey, you go out to dinner quite a bit, yeah? You go out quite a bit with friends.
Yep.
Hasn't eaten a meal from home in 4 years.
Am I off the track or what?
It depends where you go, Con. Seriously. It depends where you go.
Vanilla menu, not Parma night or anything, $29.
Yeah.
$30.
Yeah.
What's what I'm saying? 30, 35
you were saying $35.
30 to 35 I've been saying.
You said $35, and I go, it's more like 20 to 30, where I go shopping.
All right, you add a glass of wine, that becomes 45.
Yeah, but then that's what I said. All right, if I'm going to add how many drinks you're going to add, that's different.
That's where it gets
Did you say you want cheese on that? I said, I miss
salt?
No, but that's...
Himalayan?
That's where it gets tricky.
Can I get some parmesan for this spaghetti? What are you, nuts?
No, but I remember, that is their standard price for a chicken parma, $29.
And it's
I'm not saying it's cheap, but it's not
yeah, but it's a good
outlandish.
serving too.
Yeah.
It's a good serving. But where you do get ripped is in drinks. There's no doubt.
That's where the money's made. That's where the money's made.
100%, yeah.
That's where you get ripped apart. I mean, at the end of the day, this 4 drinks for $60 is just...
It's un-Australian, as far as I'm concerned.
Legit.
Scarred.
It's
That's ridiculous, man.
It's un-Australian, man.
Fucking $15 a pint, man. Like
Have
with draft,
Have
with
Barbies
draft.
at home.
Literally, but that's what you can
I
do.
agree with you.
Yeah, but then
100%.
But then that's when the recession comes.
A slab and a fucking, $45.
45
fucking sausages.
Yeah.
Cost you cheap less
But
than
that defeats the purpose of having a night out, man. And
Correct.
like, I could
This
sit
is
at home
why I
and-
brought up
Malaka,
the walk.
I could sit at home and make my own pasta, $2 a pack of Machiavelli fucking pasta from the Afghans. Yeah, or the Greeks, they sell them as well, right? And buy some cheap mince and sauce for $3. Okay, did you
Where do you get your mince for $3, man?
dog food on special?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
There's
you
beer in the ashtray.
You can make
$3 mince.
You can make. I'm making a point, man. You can make a cheap shit meal at home and drink turpentine from the fucking goon bag. It's not the point. Yeah, I could do that. Well, but you want to get up and go out when the recession hits. What do they say to you?
Yeah.
Go out there, spend money, make the economy.
You want to stimulate the economy.
Yeah.
There's not this, and that's a very good point again. And I know we've touched on it.
It's a toxic circle, man. Where does it end?
It is
Correct.
because you want to stimulate business. You want to keep people in business because it brings employment and growth and all that sort of stuff. But if your pocket's got a hole and it can't afford to, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So you're running in that.
For
it's
a country,
it's the mouse that's running on the.
For a country that touts itself as being one of the world's most livable cities and blah blah blah.
No,
it used to be, possibly, and the quality of life we experience here is great. But the poverty gap is starting to fucking distance itself. Middle class doesn't exist anymore, man.
But,
on paper, I earn decent money on paper, forgetting that I work 8 days a week and most of it goes to overheads anyway, of like running a business and living alone and doing all the other shit.
It's not cheap.
I'm not asking for luxuries, man. We're asking for a 2 pots of draft on a weekend. That'll be $30. What?
Legit, man.
If you were to go out for a shout now, say Andy will have a vodka and soda, whatever you drink, whatever you drink, whatever we drink.
We'll have a
here we go. Some fucking
what's that name?
What name?
Spirits are now about $17-18 a drink.
I don't drink scotch anymore. I only used to drink scotch or vodka. Neat. I don't drink it anymore out, man. You know, the other thing is, I saw an advertising thing for one of the pollies, for the last elections or the ones coming up in my area. It was for the Greens. And she was pushing something like, 30-cent public transport, one-way fares or some shit. And I looked
at
it.
James Franco's.
Oh, the James Franco's. I looked at it and went, that's actually not a bad thing. I go, I'd vote for her just on that. It cost me $5.50 to get on a tram and go 15 minutes. It's a 15-minute walk. So what's like from Toll to the city? How far do you reckon that is? 800 meters?
No, it's about... No.
It's a 15-minute walk. I can tell you that right now.
How about 50?
15.
15
to 17 minutes.
It's just over 2 Ks.
It'd be less than that. It'd be like 1.6, I think. 1.7. No more than that. No way. That's $5.50 each way. Yeah? The free zone starts just after the arts centre somewhere.
Hey, what do you mean each way, dude? Doesn't that timed?
Yeah, if I go out, if I meet this dickhead for a gig...
It's timed, but even a 2 hour is about that much.
Yeah.
But even if you do it for 5 minutes.
If me and him go to a gig in the city, it's $5.50 for me to go 1.7 Ks up
more
the
than
road.
2 hours.
$5.50 to come back. That's $11. I'm now thinking about it. Like, I'm not going to fucking pay that. I'm going to walk it so I can at least buy one drink for $11. Do it. But that's my point. I'm now walking 34, and I live in the CBD. I live in the city.
It's good for your health, man.
I know what it is. I'm just making the fucking point, Malaka. I swear to God.
He's literally counting the dollars to
I'm
go out.
counting. I'm saying, no, fuck the tram.
Once upon a time, that wasn't in vogue.
That was an afterthought. Like that. What's
You're
a
right.
tram?
Yeah, man, there's apps now for like happy hours because, mate, good for you if you can afford the full price. You know what I mean?
People are doing it. Look, I think we touched on it before. insurances last year skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Whatever type
look
of...
what's happening in Townsville, it's going to do it again anyway.
You know, car insurance, I think, went up by minimum 20 to 20% across the board.
Wages didn't go up that much.
No. 3,
2.
So you go backwards, and look, it's tough. Forget about all the government stuff. You know who's in vogue. The world at the moment is in a
tailspin.
Is in a rut.
Yeah,
is the word in my mind.
So what's the answer to that? What actually changes that? What reverses that? This is a legit question.
I've
got no idea.
String, man, like fuck.
Where does it start?
It comes from government spending.
Oh.
Because don't forget, when there's excessive government spending, that comes out of taxpayers. We pay a lot of tax. You know, when you think about the levels of tax that we pay.
In this country, forget it.
But we do have, hang on, we need to be fair, the support services that are available in this country, when you compare it to other parts of the world,
hands down.
Second to none.
Hands down.
But that comes at a cost.
Yeah, I
so you're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
Now if you go to Europe, you do not get that community service. You don't get that, if you were to be ill, you've got Medicare and all those sort of things that are available here in Australia. They're not available. You go to the States.
Nah, they're fucked. If you haven't got insurance,
so
you're fucked.
Coming back to what we were talking about, he's right there in terms of whatever they wanted to promise, or this, that, and the other, in terms of infrastructure for people that are genuinely, in need. There's nothing there for them.
I just can't understand. I can't comprehend standard people with standard wages can live buying a house over $1.3 million home and
where are you
be
going?
Comfortable.
Who's going to buy 1.2? They can't afford.
Dude, I've got friends that are 30, 35, like in between. They're 35, let's say 35, actively accept that they're never going to own a house, ever. Ever. They're going to pay rent for the rest of their lives. I'm staring down the barrel of fucking mortgages.
How sad's that?
There's no way. I've been paying a mortgage over 10 years. I'm no closer today to paying off my mortgage than I was 10 years ago. At all. And on one person doing it by themselves, we're talking 2055 is when I'm going to be debt free, theoretically, right? And that is me
in his coffin.
Assuming I live to fucking 70 years old there.
Hey,
there's no chance.
It's only 10 years away. Stamata.
Yeah, but you're healthier than I am. There's no way. You'll be here standing over me just smoking. I can enjoy it now.
But it is. You love the
ashtray in your coffin.
Yeah.
You absolutely have got this thing about ashtrays, haven't you?
I'm making a point. That's what's hanging over my head. Yeah? I've got mates that are in their 30s and like petrified of debt and are turning tricks.
Yeah, but they probably own a fucking AMG Mercedes.
No, they don't own an AMG. I'm saying they're petrified of having debt hang over them. Yeah? Or like they're in their mid-30s and they just got their first mortgages now.
You know what's growing a lot in Australia right now? Nomads.
Yeah.
Growing massively in Australia. Just a caravan and a fucking car. They work off in the caravan.
Because you can work from home now.
Yeah. They work from the caravan. They just go every fucking day to a different fucking state or a different town. What a fucking life, man. Doesn't sound half bad.
Yeah, but then you give up luxury.
Yeah, mate, have you seen some of these caravans, man?
Hey everyone, we know you're completely displeased with this sham of a podcast, so take the opportunity to comment in our YouTube channel or on our social media posts. For every follow that we receive on Spotify, we get one step closer to buying non-powdered milk. And now, back to the episode.
No, but legit, man, that is growing because people can't afford it.
You're right.
There's people selling houses and buying a fucking $100,000 caravan.
You know, down at the peninsula at the moment, there's a trend. I know there's a group of friends of ours that are actually getting into caravan parks.
As in what, permanently?
Yeah. And, well, as a instead of going down to the peninsula and hiring something like that, they've invested into a
hiring an Airbnb because now this new taxes. You know how much it's going to be to hire rent a house, man?
Forget it.
Yeah, how much is it going to be to rent a
Nah,
house?
forget it.
Unless you're going to have a party of like 12 people putting $200 in, that's probably what it's going to take to fucking hire a house. Like legit, man. Now that there's new taxes come in.
What new taxes?
For holiday owners, holiday house owners.
What do you mean?
There's like an Airbnb tax too now.
There's an Airbnb, 7%.
That's already come into Europe.
Yeah, but you have to, we're talking about here. But also, I think you have to, if you don't live in it
for 6 months,
amount of time,
6 months,
you get
taxed.
More taxed.
Hang on. Just so I understand this. You work your ass off, you buy a second property.
Stamp duty done, yep.
Right?
Tax.
You buy a second property with intent to use it as a holiday property for your family or
tax
whatever.
on that.
Yep.
And if you're not actually living in it, you have to pay more tax.
Correct.
So I'm not using water, I'm not utilizing the parks and roads.
That's taxable money, yeah. Of course you have to.
So I'm going to pay a levy on that.
Go down.
Are you fucked? What?
Dim. Go down to the peninsula and have a look how many properties are for sale right now.
Most of these people
another
now
friend
are
of
living
ours, a friend of ours, you know him very well. He sold his property just yesterday. Down there.
What's the incentive? What's the incentive of having a holiday house if you're going to pay tax on it just to have it?
Nothing.
He said, it's the work and it's the whole lot, but it's also land tax. Petamena left there, he goes.
When did this happen? I'm sorry, I've been asleep on the wheel for this one.
I reckon the good part of last year.
12 months ago, I think.
Good part of last year.
It was legislated 12 months ago.
Yeah.
What is wrong with this country?
It's,
so it is.
That's what it's called. It's COVID.
No, they have to recover. But the thing is, what they're saying is that there's now it's 7% on Airbnb, so you pay a tax for that, and then there's a designated time if your house is unoccupied. Because let's take a step back. The reason why they're doing that is because they want, because obviously rentals are such a premium. And the thought process behind it is they say, if you've got properties, multiple properties that you can't and you don't want to live in, well, we've got to somehow incentivize you
to rent it, or you know what? They're all selling it now.
Correct.
Yeah, but what is that going to work with multiple vehicles? If you've got more than one car and you're not driving it,
different kettle of fish. We're talking about
no. I'm just saying
the rental market, because it's so difficult to find. And
people can't afford. Yep. Buy own their own,
and they've honed into the next best, and they said, if you are a landlord that has multiple properties, you need to be renting those out. That's basic. That's basically. Is that how you see it?
But we'll still charge a land tax. We'll still charge a land tax though. Don't get away from that.
No, land tax is
land tax, and
you could have a house. You could be a rich prick and have a house purely for a set of jocks in the living room that just sit there. You put on once a year and walk away.
Yep.
That's your business, man. Why should you have to be incentivized? Incentivized to lease this place out.
Be careful how you pronounce that
word. No, it's gone fucking.
I did not know this.
Literally siphoning the people who are doing half not bad. Not the rich, the middle class.
I told you, the middle class is gone.
Middle Australia.
Fucking siphoning it out of them. So, hey, you know what? We're going to add a tax so then we can actually have it as a rental property. Oh, hang on. Are you selling that? Oh, okay. All right. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to charge land tax on houses, and we're going to double that. Oh, so but you can't put up the rent too much. Okay, cool. Oh, hang on. Oh, you're selling that too now. Okay, cool.
You've seen.
You know what I mean? The fuck? But that's what's happening.
You've seen now. I mean, the landlord agreements that are in place now. That it doesn't work for the landlord that way.
Yeah. So what are people doing? Fuck that! I'm selling. I told my missus the instant that house becomes a depression piece, sold. Instant.
What do you mean depression piece?
Where I'm like literally having sleepless nights
because ruining that you have it.
Yeah. Well, that's what a friend of ours, exact words what he said. He goes, I can't do the stress anymore.
No.
You know what I was curious about? My street, over the last 12 months, they've fucking ticketed like both sides of the street, yeah?
Parking restrictions.
And it's literally...
We've got it too.
Through the roof, yeah? Like 2-hour limits, like stupid, till like 8, 10 o'clock at night.
I think
And then
we've
park
touched on this.
$10 an hour.
Yeah, but we've touched on this in a previous podcast. There's no incentive to come into CBD.
As well as that, there's 3-4 spots directly outside my building, and then you go up to the next block, and there's a whole strip of, the share cars, like Go Get and the other ones.
Free parking.
Designated spots for those cars. How? Well, I'm paying now. Like my mum wants to drive to the city to see me. She's got to pay to park on the street.
Yep.
And then there's share cars everywhere. They just sit there free. How did they get those spots?
Sure, there's rent. I'm sure there's a rent.
Yeah. The spot is probably paid for by
it's worked
company.
in. But I'm just saying now there's less spaces. We're already fucking.
But the question was, how do they do that? It's probably because
they're
they pay
building.
for it.
They're building more and more.
There's a corporate business.
Have a
asking for
look.
it.
Just, if anyone's got any time, go through each council P&L and have a look what's generated by parking infringements. The money. It's insane.
They're knocking every building down to go higher up
but that's
into
not
the air.
for you, George.
I know. No. But
that's been
what I'm saying is
from day dot.
But Andy, my point is, it's more targeted because they're actually, they're literally stalking you. If you're 2 hours and 1 minute,
there's cameras.
There's everything.
Sensors.
Because it's all about the revenue.
But that's what I'm saying. There's no fourth.
And you're right. I mean,
it's no ticket on your window anymore. You get a fine sent to you. No ticket on the
well, we had someone, one of our guys at work. You know what he did? He stopped over because his phone rang. He had to call. He had to make a phone call. Stopped over. Yes, he was in a no standing zone, but he was in the car, and he had the hazard lights on.
Yeah,
you got a fine
for what? No standing.
It been in a no standing zone. Yep, the camera got him.
Are you serious?
100%. He signed it off himself. Did
you fight that?
Nah, no standing.
No standing.
Don't forget, the difference is, if a parking inspector or a cop saw you there, they would have ticketed you from years ago.
Yeah.
The only difference is whether it was done by
automation.
The official. That's the only difference.
It's
the
automation.
rule was always there. That's why it's called a no standing zone, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
My thing isn't so much about like those go-get cars and how those spots are paid for, but it's every building is getting knocked down because they're going higher and higher up with these apartments, and spaces on the street aren't becoming any more. You know what I mean? It's only getting harder and harder to park a fucking car. So, what are you doing there?
What the hell are you doing?
What are you doing?
Take a photo.
Why?
Why not?
Did I give you consent to publicise my photo?
Hang on. You're not in it.
Oh, good.
Well,
I'm just making a point. It makes
the landscape's changed in every aspect. We are once we've got it into the connected world and everything's automated. I mean, have a look. Just have a look around.
I think what got him is the holiday house.
Yeah, that's fucked. That's actually ridiculous. You work your ass off your whole life to buy a house to enjoy during your twilight years. Now you're paying rent because you're not there every day.
Pick up realestate.com.
Yeah.
And just type in Peninsula.
Mornington Peninsula, yeah.
Houses for sale.
Tim, we're still paying off our own house. Don't worry about holiday houses.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've literally got till 2055, man. I'm going to be 70. You know what I mean? And I'll be one step closer.
Oh, good. I've paid off my house.
And then it's like, what? Then what? Mad.
We were having this conversation we were having recently, and it's about. And look, I'm right in the sweet spot now because my kids are obviously in the property market, and they've got mortgages over their heads and the whole lot. And you look at, you want to help them, but it's tough to help them as well because $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 is irrelevant.
Yeah,
is irrelevant because the levels, the mortgages,
you need $50K at least.
50K is something
Hang
that.
On, sorry,
okay, there's a question.
You need 100K.
Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Here's a question. Padded room, yeah, like an insane asylum. So padded walls, no mirrors, no walls, no windows, nothing. Yeah. How much would you accept as a fee in order to stay in one of those padded rooms for a year? What would your fee be?
for them to pay me to do it.
Yeah.
Fuck, it never really crossed my mind, really.
I'm telling you. And remember, I'll give you some parameters.
$500 a day.
Yeah, but that's a whole.
Hey, no, I'm curious now. We're talking about life-changing money, right? So I'll give you life-changing money.
He's like starting a fucking game show.
No, yeah.
Japanese game show. Korean game show.
No. Because I've got my Ninja, the bike, which I haven't ridden since I got the Triumph, like back in August, right? So I want to sell it. And the bike will bring in it's probably worth 5 to 6.5, somewhere there, no more than that, right? And I was thinking if I sell it, I'm going to buy a storage cage, the ones that go over the parking spots, because that'll inherently add value. It'll also help me get some of my shit out of my mum's house, right? So I figured I looked them up, they're about $2,000, give or take, right? 1,800, $2,000. So I'm like, okay, my first thought was sell the bike, $5,000 at worst, $2,000 on the thing, $3,000. What am I going to pay off? Oh, maybe the credit card, try and get that back down to zero or something. And it's like, that's not life change. What's $5,000? Nothing. Like $5,000's psycho like today. You're saying $50,000.
No, $100,000. Sorry, now for a house.
Now, so hang on. First, you said $50,000
but
was
then
life changing.
Then I came into like realization, like, nah, $50,000 won't do shit too.
100, right?
Yeah.
If you, here's some parameters. Padded room, all right. There's a nerohiti for like fresh water, all right.
Yeah.
Fresh water, you call it.
Yeah, you got water, all right.
Fresh.
Is it a prison cell, but basically with padded walls?
It's padded walls, yeah.
All right, yeah.
All right, so you can't hurt yourself if you go nuts, all right? But there's no windows facing out except for a door with like a frosted sort of glass on it. You can hear noise, so it's not complete silence where you're just in your own head. How much would you accept to go off the grid and stay in this thing for a year?
$1,000 a day.
So it's gone double now. Fuck.
No.
You're like the Australian government. Fuck,
mate.
Senator.
You'd have to pay me to go in there. Andy, please.
$1 million.
Million.
$1 million?
For the year.
Would you do it for $1 million?
For the year.
Yeah.
For the year.
I'll do it for $1 million.
$1 million?
Yeah.
Government will take 10%. I'm going. It's just
anyway. Whatever.
900 in that.
Yeah, 900 in my pocket.
Yeah. Would you be comfortable with 900?
I'd do it.
Would you?
Can you get out and just like hang?
No. You are in this room,
locked in there,
locked in, man,
for a year.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't do it.
I'm not saying I'd do it, but you were just asking me to put $1 on it.
I'm putting a hypothetical.
If I was going to do it,
no chance.
Because I was thinking about it. I'm like, fuck, it'd have to be a high number, man.
No.
360.
I wouldn't do it, but if I had to do it, given you're going to do it, put a value on it.
Yeah,
I'd say $1 million. I wouldn't do it for under $1 million.
Podcast because we're diving right into someone here.
You do it for $365,000, eh?
He's right.
Yeah.
He's right.
I said at least $1 million.
But I didn't realise that you can't get out of this place.
Oh, what?
You're just going to stay in the freaking room all day. For 1 year.
I love it. He's like, he pulls his number up. This guy will do 30%.
He's bartering down already.
Straight away. Messer. You know what I mean?
Fuck.
Oh, no way. Gold, man.
Because I was like,
$365,000.
Why ask that question?
Because I was thinking about what life-changing money would be. Yeah? $50,000 can make some moves, but it's not life-changing.
Nah.
No chance.
$1 million still is not astronomical.
No, but
it's life-changing enough.
$1 million will
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
$1 million will change your life.
So that year doing it, if hypothetically you did it, it's like you're sacrificing a year to get
so
the
what's
million.
The lowest number you do it for?
$1 million.
Because he went to 365.
I wouldn't do it for less than $1 million.
Initially,
so tell me.
I think he was 180 first.
Me? I said
him. 180,000.
I said $1 million.
Him there.
Yeah, I know. But I didn't realise that you can't get out of the room. Do you have no visitors, no nothing?
Nothing.
I said $1 million. I wouldn't do it for less than $1 million.
What? Are you serious? No chance. No chance.
I was just thinking.
No TV, no nothing.
Because, like, you think about a number, right? No TV.
Yeah, but that's like the hypothetical, the movie, how much would you let this guy sleep with your wife? Remember what movie was it?
Indecent Proposal.
Yeah, similar thing.
One of my favourite films.
But,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It was Woody Harrelson, Robert Redford, I think.
Normally you'd go, fuck off, what are you doing? Whatever. But when he puts it to you like, this is a deal. It's an actual contract. If you agree to it, these are the terms, That's sort of what you're giving me. Something that you wouldn't normally do. But I go, if this and this and this, how much would you do it for?
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Because I started thinking
I
about
wouldn't do it for less than $1 million.
what would life-changing money actually look like.
No, I agree with you.
So,
man.
so like
I agree
with
with
me, right? Obviously, the first thing I think about is mortgage, right? If I got rid of that, you haven't got that hanging over your head. That's a lot of money.
100%.
That's a lot of income saved, now freed up.
Yeah.
If I wasn't paying my mortgage, I have no complaints.
I agree with you. So that could be done with, depending on whose mortgage it is.
Yeah.
It could be 100,000.
But that's
It could
what
be
I'm
a few
saying.
100,000. Agreed. But I also looked into that and I'm thinking, okay, quickly, oh yeah, there's that aspect of it. But obviously you got to put in a little bit of your compensation for spending a year.
That's my point.
That's why I just go, look, you know what? $1 million is a nice round number.
There's no right or wrong. I'm curious as to what people's trigger
for me,
levels
my
are.
barrier is I
$1
wouldn't
million.
do it for less than $1 million. Yeah.
Okay.
Indecent proposal, decent mortgage.
Yeah, exactly.
Just narrates it. But fuck that, man.
Fuck that, man.
Fuck that.
No.
Imagine you got out. Like, nah. Mate, just think about the fucking fact that you're going to be stuck in this room for a year. Water, no TV, just water.
I'd be bouncing
and
off
food.
the walls. Forget it.
But that's the rubber room. That's why you're in
that's
there.
the whole point of it,
yeah.
Fuck
But
that.
that's what I'm saying, man. Like, what is the number that would be the limit?
What would you be willing to sacrifice for that $1 million? That's what he's basically is trying to say.
No, fucking nothing, mate. Fuck nothing.
Yeah, you'll be doing that too. You'll be doing plenty of that.
Nothing.
$1 million.
You'll be fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Fuck that.
A year.
Nothing can pay me.
You let it. You serious?
Could you do a year for $10 million? Could
No.
you do a year?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I thought
That's
about?
insane.
I thought about it in reference to like timelines of other shit in my life. So like one of the longest running jobs I've had, I was there for just under 9 years. I think about that. I'm like, how the fuck did I give up my best part of my 20s and my 30s to that job? I hated it. You know what I mean?
So that's how you really feel.
He's comparing that to a padded
No,
room.
what I'm saying is timestamps,
time.
you fucking my life. Why are you such a Akistor, man? I'm sorry, Con. An actual intellectual conversation beyond your usual rabble.
He's a rabble rouser.
Hang on. So you went from a topic to how much would you do it? Like, how much would you take to live in a fucking padded room? And then you're talking about your fucking job being so
what
shit.
I'm saying is context of time, you fucking giftor, yeah? I've been at the place I'm living at now. I've been there for nearly a year. Can you believe it?
Yeah, well, fuck.
Well, fuck. See? That's what I'm trying to tell you, fucking moron. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Time can be measured in a lot of ways.
That's what I'm saying.
Like me, recently I clocked up a year from hell. So,
dude, context of time. That's what I'm saying. So what's a year? Is a year worth it if you know that the sacrifice is going to be fucking financial freedom, life-changing fucking money, blah, blah, blah?
Yeah, but what guarantees you fucking after that you're going to actually enjoy it?
There are no guarantees.
As soon as I leave that rubber room, I'm going straight to Oakley for a fucking suvo and a pint, and I won't even think about the price. I can fit it there.
He didn't go to Greco Greco.
Mercedes. Yeah, I'll go in there.
Are you
Three
serious?
sugars!
Are you? Hey,
Three fucking sugars, man!
hey, is he serious? What would be the first thing you get out when you get out of the powder room?
He'll be going from the padded room to the pounding room.
I like that.
From the padded room to the dungeon.
Yeah, and the sixth dungeon.
This guy's This guy is going. He's
going to another
365.
Going for a suvo and a fucking cafe.
He's going for a sumo and a cafe. And here are you serious?
And a cigarette.
just puffing, man.
Cigarette. We'll be smoking 20 of them.
It's just 20 at a time.
That is gold,
Oh, think about it. Yeah,
that is gold.
You've just done a year in that padded room, right? No contact with
I ain't
anyone.
going for a souvlaki, I'll tell you now.
Lobster flambe.
No.
He's going straight for the Lucani killer.
No chance. I don't want to see how look anything. What are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying. Like, I was just talking the context of sacrifice, you dickhead. That's all. The whole point. That's the whole point.
Still going.
That was the whole point, Malaka. I think I had a good point.
Yeah, okay, mad point. Going straight to for a Suvo and fucking cafe after you
mad.
spent a year in jail.
Yeah, mad. Ozzy Osbourne's coming back, mad.
Hey,
yeah.
come on, man. That's sick, man. But did you notice who was running it all?
No, I know, of course. But I'm happy that they got Bill Ward drumming.
Who the fuck's running it?
Sharon. Who else?
Man. But have you seen the lineup?
Sharon.
Yeah. Metallica, Pantera. Yeah, I saw that.
Anthrax.
So
fucking big.
The bands,
Lamb of God.
So the bands,
Slayer, yes.
The bands that are barely selling concert tickets from now are all going to line up for Ozzy Osbourne. Mad.
What sort of conditions he is these
Who's
days?
barely selling
He's fucking it. He's got Parkinson's. He's out of it.
Is he Parkinson's? Is that confirmed?
Yeah. He's got Parkinson's,
He
man.
can't walk.
Do you think people give a fuck there?
Yeah.
Dude, that is literally fucking, what's it called, man?
And apparently still his last album sounded amazing.
Yeah, because that's studio work, man. You can
I know
shit out
that.
one line at a time and still cover it up, make it sound half decent.
Look, I saw them when they came on their last farewell tour, or whatever, when they came to Australia.
The 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was,
I know, yeah.
what was it, 10 years ago?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe about 10. They weren't what they used to be, but it was still fantastic.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, but Ozzy as a front man, the guy can barely string two sentences in interviews, man.
Yeah, but he was mad. You know what I mean? When I say mad, in the context of everything. You know what I mean?
Two sentences in the 80s.
Back then, in the 70s even.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When I watch interviews,
he's not going to be bouncing around like he used to and whatever. He's going to be like this.
You know what?
He's going to, you know what he's
You know
going to
what?
So you're going to say he's going to be like,
when's it going to be? Have they named the date?
I think it's in June, July.
4
Next year.
months.
Next year.
In England.
Next year.
Next
year.
year.
Next
This
year.
No.
This year or next
Are you
year?
joking?
This year.
Next year.
This year.
Oh, this year.
So 4 months from now,
Yeah, maybe.
I'm willing to wager money that Ozzy Osbourne doesn't make it to that gig.
You don't reckon?
No.
I reckon he will.
I will wage money on it. And if he does, they'll be like, this should never have happened. Like Mike Tyson fighting, what's his name?
We'll see.
Jake Paul.
Nah, man.
I'm telling you.
Do you reckon he'll...
Dude.
You're saying he won't make it or he will die before then?
As in, he won't make that gig. Whether he's
You're talking
dead,
about health-wise.
yeah, whether he's dead or he's in hospital.
No,
That
we'll
much
see.
money involved, mate.
It doesn't
Even if
matter.
he just stands in front of the stage and just says nothing, mate, I reckon they'll do it.
Nah.
I know, we'll see.
They did it to, what's his name? Who was a singer who sang Put Your
It'd
Head
be
on My
sick to watch,
Shoulder?
mate. Hey.
It was,
the Frankie
song.
Valley.
no, it wasn't Frankie
It
Valley.
was, but
No, Frankie
Wasn't it
Valley was the
Frankie Valley?
same era. It wasn't Frankie Valley.
Wasn't it Frankie Valley?
No.
Because I know Frankie Valley is what you're thinking.
Actually, it was Frankie Valley that I'm
that's
thinking
what
of.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they've exploited the shit out of it.
Put Your Head on My Shoulder wasn't sung by Frankie Valley.
Oh, wasn't it?
No, that was sung by Paul something.
Paul Anka.
Yes, it was Paul Anka.
Yeah.
Put your hand on my shoulder. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, but a lot of guys from that era is
Frankie
him.
Valley is the one that they drag out like a reanimated fucking zombie.
Yeah. He's like a Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They are milking the shit out of that guy.
I feel sorry for that guy, really.
It's sad there.
Yeah.
Absolutely
bring it up,
sad.
like the last one. Like,
How old would he be now? 80?
Fuck, he's got to be 80 something, man.
And they bring him out like the...
Dude, literally like...
Let the guy fucking retire, man.
Malaga, like they're wheeling out Hannibal Lecter in a fucking...
is that the one who was miming? No.
No,
Wasn't
I
it
don't
old
think it
man?
was
Wasn't
mine.
it like
In his
80s?
day, he was top singer, man.
Oh,
yeah.
You know?
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, like...
But it's like he's fucking, you know...
He's done, man. He's just done.
What is he going to do with his money, man? He's got like limited time.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's him that's... No, I want to do more.
What,
I think he's
kids?
been exploited.
when was that song by
What?
Paul Anka? What year do you reckon it was? It first came to the charts.
Oh, that was fuck, man. I knew this
Early
one.
60s?
Yeah, it was like, early 60s, late 50s. It was something like fucking wild.
Late 50s?
1959.
Yeah, he
There
was
you
a
go,
kid.
yeah.
He was like 19 when he wrote that song, man. It's a great song. I love that song. I love he changes octaves in it. It sounds fucking incredible. And he's done a few there's a few live versions of him doing it. And it's fucking, mate, that's it's like a wedding day, Valentine's Day song. It's killer. But Frankie Valley and the like, Ozzy
That's
Osbourne
what I thought
falls
of him
into that.
too, because that's exactly
Ozzy
what
Osbourne
they've done.
falls right into that category, and he's nowhere near as alert as fucking Frankie Valli. I'll tell you that right now. If you had the two of them up next to each other, Frankie Valli would burst into the first octave. Ozzy would be like, and that'd be the end. That's it. I'm telling you.
He's had though.
He's done, man.
He's
They're
had a
dragging him out for no reason
He's had a
whatsoever.
good life.
I like you, but you fucking watch your mouth.
Dude, I love Ozzy Osbourne, man. I think he's the fucking granddaddy of metal, man. And he's done a lot, and he's influenced, and blah,
Man,
blah, blah.
for some reason, he still
Why
doesn't
do you, dude, why do you do this? You did it, you're talking about it when we did the Kiss episode, remember? You're talking about how Thayer and fucking what's-his-name still had some years left in them because they were significantly younger than Gene and Paul. And I said, man, let them fucking just retire there. Why are you so adamant about squeezing years out of these guys?
No, I never said that.
Okay, I'm telling you, dude, drum up any interview from Ozzy Osbourne. I can pull them up right now.
All
if you
I
want.
said was, if they really want to continue the business, don't go Avatar, make a Kiss 2.0.
I'm not talking about Kiss. I'm talking about...
You did, dickhead.
Yeah, no. If I have to pull the episode up to reference you again, I will, right? Because your words were, Thayer is only fucking X age. And I said, yeah, okay, man. I go, that's still like halfway to our parents' age. I go, he's just got to stop.
Yeah, but he probably...
Don't worry about Thayer. I'm not talking about Thayer. I'm talking about Ozzy Osbourne in this instance, all right? He's cooked. You know he's cooked.
You're comparing Tommy Thayer with Ozzy
I'm
Osbourne.
not comparing Tommy Thayer.
Look, I get what you're saying. I agree. It could be. Probably is.
The guy is baked, man. He's done.
But if they've put this together and they think he's able to pull it off,
I think.
I hope he does.
Okay.
So you're saying, do you think, hang on, do you think that
Oh, my
Ozzy
God.
doesn't want to do this? Is that what you're saying?
I never said that.
Because he might actually want to do
Yes,
this, man.
but I guarantee you $1,000, Sharon is his fucking, what's it called? Power of attorney and executor.
Stand.
100%. Now,
I'm
why
not-
would someone
I
be...
would not shake your hand on that because it's true.
Exactly. That's my point. Ozzy Osbourne is not capable of making any decisions on his own, but they're going to drag him out.
Sharon's going to be on the holding it.
Yeah.
Oh, dance monkey.
Yeah. They're going to bring him out as a fucking avatar to do this last show, which is going to break records. Like, you know it's going to break records. Yeah, like
They're doing
Michael
it as-
Jackson.
they're doing it at
This
a-
is it, yeah?
They're doing it at, which soccer ground?
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa's.
And they're doing it there because that's
Birmingham.
where...
Yeah, that's where we
That's where they're from.
I can appreciate the sentimentality. I can appreciate him saying, I want one more run just to say goodbye and la la la. I guarantee you, if he does turn up, he'll be relegated to a spectator's view. He'll be seated.
Spectators' view.
Spectators.
Not
and
even
they'll-
can you drum.
Can you? Why would he be behind? the,
Bill Wood would be behind the
Yeah.
drums.
No, but like,
I'm
sitting
telling
there.
you, he'll be just a bit player, and it'll be like a tribute night to him with other bands playing covers. And I don't disagree with that. But what I'm saying is, they're going to market the fuck out of this thing.
We're not
and
singing a
just-
song.
No, you can barely talk there.
How can you say one last
I
time?
get what you're saying, but I hope it's not. We'll see.
Okay, look at it this way. In 2009, when Michael Jackson was doing his This Is It tour, right, to get out of crippling debt that he was in, that was purely a money grab thing, right?
Yeah, but a lot of artists have done that. You mentioned Fonzie earlier on.
Yeah.
The whole album he did was exactly for that.
Yeah,
Because he was broke.
I don't disagree. He did 100 tours, and then he came back again, and they were trying to sue him because it's like, what are you doing?
Wheatley,
Yeah, he went to jail for tax evasion there, and he died like just after that. No, what I'm saying is, 2009, when Michael Jackson was doing his This Is It tour, right? Me and a mate of mine were looking at going to London to go to it, right? And we were about a week away from like buying tickets.
Yeah.
And my mate said, nah, I'm not doing it. Like, really? He goes, I don't think he'll make it. He's serious? He goes, yeah, man. Because I've been watching all this press and stuff for it. He goes, he doesn't look right. Like, it does not look right. I don't think he's going to make it. And then the day he died, I called up my mate. I'm like, Malaka. I go, you called it. He goes, I hate that I did, but it was, the writing was on the wall. Dude, Michael Jackson in 2009 looked like fucking, Richard Simmons next to Ozzy Osbourne, man. Ozzy Osbourne is a shell of what anyone would be.
Es Jos.
I'm telling you.
we have done well here tonight.
I'm just making a point.
Shelling him out.
I'd love to see Ozzy Osbourne going nuts, but it's not going to happen. He can barely string a sentence together. And I think that they're going to just push the marketing on this thing, make it literally a tribute night to him, which is fine. Give him his last hurrah in the sun.
Do they still continue Ozfest? Ozfest? They stopped, didn't they?
No, I think it stopped.
Okay.
I'm just saying. You needed like we all needed like Mike Tyson stepping into the ring with Jake Paul should never have happened.
No, that was
sad. That was actually sad.
It was sad.
Yeah.
I caught half of the fight. I was working.
No, I saw it.
Yeah.
To me, it looked like he was pulling his
He
punches.
was 100%. He was. I watched all the breakdowns of it, and they're like, that muscle memory. You can see him holding back because he would have destroyed
I
the
can't
guy.
remember. At one stage, it even looked like he did a move, and it was almost like he was trying to say to him, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah.
Did you see it, Eddie? See the fight?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It looked like he was pulling his punches.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Compared to when Mike Tyson came onto the scene as a 20-year-old.
It was a freak.
Oh my god,
freak of nature, man.
Yeah, man. I always say it. As far as professional athletes that like were prime units, like peak physicality in their genres and sports and stuff, Tyson's up there. You have to give it to him,
especially when he was early. When it was early.
They talk about Serena Williams being like the most successful sports athlete ever because of it's like okay, cool. There's an argument to be made about that, but then Tyson's easily up in that category, man.
Yeah, but again, when you're part of the Williams brothers,
yeah, exactly.
And just to loop back a little bit, just a little bit.
That's burning out. Okay, what? Okay, here we go.
No, because you brought up.
Because I brought up. I love you.
No.
Because you brought up. I'm looping back.
No, because you brought up about this alleged athlete or that alleged athlete. I want to highlight how fucked them.
Yeah, no, go.
From America, the attitude.
Yeah.
Because I saw recently they did a top 5 athletes in the world, right?
Yeah.
Have a wild guess what the top 5 athletes in the world was.
Serena Williams had to be on that list. If she wasn't, I'd be surprised.
Babe Ruth, Tom Brady, Wayne Gretzky. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
And everyone's going, mate, what about Maradona? What about Messi? What about Usain Bolt? What about Muhammad Ali? You know? And they're like, and they're actually trying to defend their decisions.
Andy,
you know what I mean?
Andy, even today,
he loves America.
And
you know what I'm saying?
I actually agree with him here because I was watching a bit of. I was listening to the Super Bowl. I was listening to the Super Bowl on SEN as I was driving today.
That's what I meant, looping back.
And they were harping on 250 million people watching the Super Bowl today. Right? Oh. You know how many watched the World Cup final? 10 times that.
No shit.
But you speak to any of them, and I even saw one, I think, yesterday.
So for every one person...
They're like, oh yeah, the World Series is bigger than anything, and the world this and this, so from their perspective.
On the planet, for every one person that watched the Super Bowl today, the World Cup final was watched by 10. So think about that.
That's one aspect of it. But what you're bringing up about certain athletes, I thought of it because I saw it recently. They did a top 5 athletes in the history of sport. History of sport, ever. No. And their thing was Babe. I'm not doubting these people they're bringing up equality in their own way.
I've got a problem with that list. Straight off the bat, Babe Ruth was not a top finesse athlete. He was a freak of nature. He just had a mad swing.
Yeah, but they're trying to put this
He was an overweight, stocky man with like a gut smoking cigars.
The 5 best
on the planet.
Sports people, athlete, whatever you want to call them.
On the planet.
On the planet ever. And they had Michael Jordan in there. Look, granted, out of the 5, 1 or 2 of them probably borderline.
So what was the list?
Michael Jordan.
So what was the list?
Wasn't it LeBron as well? Was LeBron in
No.
there?
It was. I think it was Michael Jordan. I think it was Wayne Gretzky. I think it was Tom Brady.
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth. And I think it was. I can't remember who the other one was. But anyway, you get the gist.
So
it was all like that.
No reference to Djokovic, Nadal. No reference to even
Pelé,
soccer players,
Maradona.
multiples.
You'd have to have
or Usain Bolt, or
wait.
You know what I mean?
In that list, you'd have to have that. Remember that Romanian gymnast? What was her name? The one that's
Nadia Comaneci. But this is my point.
The perfect 10.
There's been world-class athletes across multiple sports. Michael Phelps, the swimmer.
I know who's the 5th
for example.
one. I know who the 5th one is. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, it probably was. But this is the point.
Man.
This is the little bubble that they live in.
I agree with you there.
That's what shits me.
On that, Andy, I'm with you 1,000%. trillion
Yeah, but
percent.
that's just an
'Cause
example.
It's not homophobic. What's the word? It's
But
just
that
it's just
highlights
like inbred.
the attitude to everything. It's not just sport. It's about
This air of invincibility.
how many times have you seen where they talk about, they pick on Americans and they go, oh, where is Australia?
Oh, yeah.
Or where is this or where is that? And not only do they not know where they are, they don't even understand that they think like Europe is a country. Or
naive.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Naive.
It's because anything that's not America-centric
America's insular.
means nothing. That's basically what it is.
But they're insular towards themselves as well. People on the East Coast have got no idea about culture on the West Coast. They're fucking bizarre. And they freak out because the rest of the world is so absorbed in American culture that we take all of it in. West Coast, East Coast, South, doesn't matter. And they freak. Like when I was there, I was making references to shows and shit and like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? It's just the country, man. They're ignorant. It's one part good old boys, one part ghetto celebrities, and the other part, yeah, exactly. And then the other part's all just rich elitists. That's it. There's no middle ground. They're all fucked. You can't. They're in a class of their own. And this is going to be, I reckon, the darkest times for them, man. They can say whatever they want about.
Oh, I think they're already there, man.
But that's what I'm saying. This is a new chapter.
Yeah.
You know what's going to evolve into?
No.
It's going to turn into one giant escape from New York. But it'll be
has to be LA first.
LA first. LA. Like Kurt Russell throwing the basketball, hitting the full court shot.
They've already got the clown president, so they're just got to build a wall around them, and they're done.
Hold up.